So
Yeah.
this is a little slime, which he's so cute. I
So
love
happy
him
you know
so
the
much.
name.
That's
Done!
yay!
I actually done it. This is insane. Okay,
I'm so hyped and focused on this thing.
It's
here.
hard. It's hard to concentrate.
And the thing is, when you're being bullied, you do feel as a child, why are the adults in the world letting me down? Why are they letting this happen? When I started fighting back, changed my life forever.
I'm actually enjoying a little bit of wine while we do this because it felt inappropriate to not have libations.
Look at this. It's kind of, I don't know what this was from.
I had a great freaking time. I chose a Lego set that was like, don't do the flowers, guys. Don't do the flowers.
Obviously, I'm the problem because I keep making the same bad decision.
I did berate them for a long time about coming on Lego, so when David asked, I had to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, fuck, how do I pitch my channel? I cover a lot of the current drama and stuff that's going on, but predominantly I'm somebody who's kicked around the internet for quite a long time.
I guess technically it's round 2, though, right? Oh, no, we got it. Okay, never mind.
We're round one.
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the top of my table is black here, and I just unloaded all these black Legos onto it, so it's
outstanding.
Just made it very difficult for
except for this one piece is yeah.
What do tofu and a lady toy have in common?
What?
They're both meat substitutes.
So I do bonsai. I collect bonsai trees, and these trees aren't it. they're wrong. These trees they have bad form.
But then in high school, I decided to do all kinds of weird stuff to my hair. I actually dyed my hair jet black at one point, and I have white eyebrows and white eyelashes and arm hair. So
I got the part of the base done, and I'm working on what I think is the owl now. See, that's how you get invited back. You just do it really slow.
That looks really cool.
That's awesome.
It's so random, but it functions. That's awesome.
It's so cool.
But it's not the size of the tower. It's how well you use it.
no, we're gonna be here till 2 in the morning.
Outstanding.
It's so past my bedtime right now.
Having the problem with this one here.
Just tell me what I need to do.
You're telling me that
Zero
you have
numbers. There's no numbers.
I'm not sure how you done.
No numbers.
Well, hey, if Flash can have a half-hour intro, so can we, by God. Hello.
everybody to
I am so excited.
29. This is number 29, and welcome, Scott, recovery addict. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome,
Wendy, MLS. Oh, it's great to be here. Super excited.
It's great to have you, sir.
Yeah. We understand that your Lego build has been a secret to a lot of your viewers. So we're excited about that. But
it's not this one.
It's not that one. Yeah, that's the rumor that's been going around, right?
My kids are going to build this before I'm done with mine tonight. So
yeah,
that one,
most definitely.
They're starting now.
Most definitely. Well, I suppose being in the top corner, I will go ahead and tell you what I'm building. The Technic Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit set, which I'm kind of excited about because it actually rotates. And
that's really cool.
It actually looks really cool.
Yeah. Pretty sure I got this from my in-laws for Christmas. Pretty sure that's
Love the in-laws.
Yes,
Nice.
indeed.
Before I go, Dolly Talk's got a chat in here. He wants to know, Scott, what is your favorite trial and why is it Mark Jensen?
Dolly Talk, you nailed it. It's all the drawings. It's all the drawings that really pulled me in on that trial. So
there was a lot of drawings in that one.
If you don't know Dolly Talk, he actually sent in a request to the court, and they sent him all of the drawings, all of the court file.
I'm
He has
sorry.
all of the peen drawings.
Oh my goodness. That's terrible. That's terrible. No, I liked particularly that trial. I liked the replaying of what was it, 48 Hours or whatever the TV show that they played in court, because that was the only recording they had. That's what I liked about that one.
Oh, that was great. That was great. I am building actually what Wendy sent me for Christmas. This is the Lego Police in Prison Island. So that's what I'm building.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this one. It's been hanging out there. I've been watching it and looking at it for months now, 2 months, and I'm really excited to build it now. So,
980 pieces on that one.
980 pieces, yes.
That's going, you amateurs.
526 pieces.
Val, you told me earlier in the week that 500 to 700 pieces is about right. I
did.
I went with let's see what it says. 4,502. But I've got a mosaic is what I have. I've got this is a canvas with no instructions, and I just have to go from there and just make it work. So
okay, awesome. So I'm gonna share my screen. So I got recently a Lego set. It is the Milky Way. And it has 4,000 some pieces, but it's like yours, where it's all these small little pieces.
That one's like 3D too, though. That's like
it's a little bit 3D, but it's roughly, it might be a little bit bigger, but it's about the same number of pieces, and it's all the small little pieces. Let me tell you that this took me about 9 hours to do over 3 days.
You guys have any plans for the next couple of days? We're just going to hang out here.
We're just going to hang out here, apparently.
I might have to take a break to go feed the goats, but otherwise I'm good to go.
This is where we'll be all weekend long.
Apparently. All right. I don't have nearly as fancy of a setup, so I'm going to have to do this maneuver.
Yeah, me too. I just angle it down a touch. And
apologies for the motion, y'all. Apologies.
And welcome all of Recovery Addicts fans. We're so happy to see you in chat. Lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Yes. Speaking of chat, glad that you're all here. I have in my pinned comment section a link to Dave's stream. He's also multi-streaming. Go over there. Make sure you go give him a like if you would be so kind.
That'd be awesome.
There you go. Thank you for that. We used to have a competition between Nick and myself, and then I kept losing, so I gave up the competition. When we were dual stream. So Scott, you are Recovery Addict. Now I know you've mentioned it a number of times, but for people who might not know, why the name Recovery Addict?
Well, there's two reasons. The short reason is when I decided to live stream, it was the only YouTube channel I had that had already been granted that 24-hour wait period before you can live stream. so okay. I didn't plan very far ahead when I started live streaming. That was a short one. And the reason I had a channel called Recovery Addict is that I was an aspiring YouTuber before I started doing law or law license. And I thought everyone would love to watch videos of me going out metal detecting and recovering artifacts from the ground. So I did a little channel saying I'm a recovery addict because I recover artifacts and detecting. Nobody liked it, or at least nobody found it. So I stopped doing that back in about 2016 and didn't do much. I started in 2016 and nowhere. But that's part of it. And the other part is that I actually have my own addiction recovery story that is part of my life and my story, but it's a little bit different. For me, I was addicted to video gaming. And so I was a World of Warcraft-aholic, I guess you could call it.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I'm more of a Nintendo guy.
It is a fantastic game. I love it to this day. That's the problem.
Right.
But I got to the point where I was spending every waking minute and all the sleeping ones as well playing that game, and it was my life. I nearly lost everything, and it didn't really hit me how bad it was. Other than you can do that game, you can do /played. It will tell you how long you've been online, like how many hours.
Yeah.
And I hit the 1,000 mark way before I should have hit 1,000 mark, and I went well beyond that, adding zeros. Anyway, it was I was driving down the freeway for my job. I was a traveling salesman. Had the laptop open on the car next to me with an air card connected to the internet, trying to run a raid at 75 miles an hour, and I realized that I
oh my god
had a problem, and it could have killed me and anybody else on the road. And so anyway,
now to be fair, when GoldenEye came out on the Super Nintendo, I hooked up a TV and an inverter in my car, and I was playing GoldenEye like you wouldn't, like you couldn't imagine. So I get it. That was back in the
You
day.
may have been addicted to Resident Evil in the 90s. Just say it.
Resident Evil was a scary game. Freaked me out.
I played that one time with I think my brother-in-law or my in-laws, my sister-in-law's husband. I don't know what that relative is. Once away, scared the daylights out of me. We were playing at like 2:00 in the morning, and surround sound system, the subwoofer and everything. Oh my goodness.
There's a YouTuber, a British YouTuber that plays video games as like more joking, but he'll play like scary ones and he reacts. He like screams and stuff when there's jump scares and things, and it's the greatest thing to listen to. But so when he plays a scary game like that, my son and I used to we download the game and play it ourselves, and we turn off all the lights and play. They are super freaky, like that Slender Man game and stuff. Are really freaky games.
There's a game?
Yeah, Slender Man's a game.
Oh, I don't remember.
He's literally chasing you. Can't let the Slender Man catch you. It's a good game. So, Scott, you're doing law commentary. What do you describe your channel as? Is it?
We're LawTube adjacent, and because I have zero legal background other than that I've loved the law since I was a kid. So when I was, too young to drive, I'd hop on my bike and bike down to the city offices, and I thought I was sneaking into court. I'd like sneak in the back and I'd sit down. I didn't know everyone was allowed in, right? I'd like try to lay low so I wouldn't get kicked out. I never did, of course, but I'd love to watch just traffic court. It's like, oh, this guy's in here for possession of marijuana, and what are they going to do here? And this guy's got a DUI, and holy cow, this is a murder. I never, it was crazy. I loved it, and I still do, but I didn't realize. I liked that side of the courtroom environment. I like that. And when I was in junior high, probably 14 years old or so, that's when I started understanding how the law applied to me a little bit better. Particularly, we had a class where our classroom was freezing cold. Okay? It was the middle of winter. The windows had been broken out because it used to be a little janitor's closet, and somebody had broken in there. So we had like plywood where the windows should be. And we're all just freezing to death in the corner. And so we're trying to learn history, and that didn't work very well. And I did some research and found out that there's actually laws on the books that say that you can't hold school unless the conditions are meet for, ripe for learning or something. I forget what the terminology was. And sure enough, there's actually a rule about how warm the classroom has to be. So I printed off the law, I grabbed a digital thermometer, and I went back to school. The next day I waited for it to calibrate, and walked up to the teacher and handed the paper and handed him the copy of the law. And he read it and looked at the thermometer and said, "Class dismissed." I'm like, oh, I like gold.
Practicing law against your school. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were popular with the kids for that one.
The one day they moved us. They suddenly found an available classroom after that. But
I'm not sure if Josh is joking or if he really wants us to ask how many buttons you've got in your studio.
Oh my goodness!
I've seen your master board. I don't know what it's called. Fancy board.
I think it's 1,154.
Holy
God,
crap!
How do you keep track of all those buttons? I'm scared enough of StreamYard.
I could show. Well, my camera that shows you is kind of mounted funny, but
that's okay.
1564.
So there's 211 on this device, and I have 2 of those. There's like 80 something on this one, and 36 on that one, and a bunch over here, and 4 keyboards. And
that's very kind.
I thought my 3 monitors were a big deal. So do you do YouTube full time then?
I do. I used to work for the Department of Defense. I don't know. How do you guys
Really?
talk and build at the same time? Let me just ask real quickly.
It's actually really hard. DSN, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate you.
Easy. I just don't look at you. I'm looking at the set and then building. So you used to work for the Department of Defense. When did you go full-time YouTube?
7 months after I worked myself out of a job at Department of Defense. I was about to the point where we had to sell our house. We had spent all of our savings just with me looking for the perfect job, which I was being picky. I wanted the same thing I did before, but I didn't want to move. I wanted to be remote. And top secret clearances remote usually don't go together. They want you in the office.
It's tough to convey that top secret information remotely in a secured way. Just
It worked for me for the last 3 years.
From home.
Yes. The skiff, is the issue. But no, it was worked myself out of a job and then worked my way through all the savings we'd built up for the last 10 years. And out of frustration, I told my wife, I'm not going to look for a job today. I'm just going to live stream on YouTube. And Daryl Brooks was on. And I live streamed.
You started with Brooks?
13 people watched, and it was amazing.
Aww.
It was so much
you haven't
fun.
been doing this that long, huh? That's fairly recently.
It's just over 2 years. But
wow, has it been that long since Daryl Brooks, really?
Seems like he never goes away. So it's
right. That dude just
Here's my little police boat.
Oh, that's
cool.
so cute.
Are you done?
No. I got plenty more. This is just the little boat right here. I got all of this to do yet.
I already I'm going to be bleeding. These are there like special gloves you wear when you put these on? This is terrible. I'm less than 100 pieces in, and my fingers hurt so bad.
Oh, you got the little, because they're all one tiny pieces, right?
They're all little pieces.
Are you
I will
guys?
tell you that my back, my eyes, and my fingers hurt building that Milky Way.
I bet.
That's why it was over 3 days, because I had to keep getting up.
Hey,
So about 50 more people have come in, like in the last few minutes. So can you guys show again what you're building for our lovely chat guests?
I will show real quick. I am building the Lego police prison island. That's what I'm building right there. I'm trying to get the glare off of it. So, and I just finished the boat.
Perfect.
And I'm having a Michelob Ultra because I'm concerned about my figure.
I am building the Technic planet, and what the hell is this called? Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit is what the star. I gotta show it over here, don't I? My bad. Shaky. Sorry. Where's the thing? There it is. It's a Technic set. It actually rotates, so that's cool.
Does it light up?
I doubt it. Doesn't. I don't think I have any batteries.
It's pretty cool if it did, man.
It would be cooler if it did.
You could shine a flash.
I am building a 48 by 48 mosaic of an image which only I can see right now, and it's gonna be a surprise. It's not going to be done today, or maybe even tomorrow at this rate.
Did David rebuild that boat? Josie asks.
Did I rebuild what?
That boat. Did you rebuild that boat? Maybe the one from when you and Logan were building?
The sailboat?
Yeah, maybe.
It's still in the same condition up at the cabin.
Oh,
as it
sorry.
was.
She's asking, did you pre-build it?
No, I did not rebuild.
By the
I'm
way,
not
have
like
you guys
Valhalla.
seen how famous Josie is on TikTok right now? Everyone go subscribe on TikTok to It's Me
She keeps
Josie.
popping up in my feed, and I don't want to see it.
She's hella famous. She's got sponsors and everything.
Is she crushing it right
It's
now?
very cool.
Yeah.
Get it, Josie.
Our introvert is doing some really cool stuff.
Get it, girl.
Right? We're so proud.
I'm
got
wearing the
Go ahead,
shirt.
Scott.
Look at that.
He is.
Free Zachariah Anderson.
Oh, you're both wearing it.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So why YouTube? Why did you decide? All right, I'm not going to work for the Department of Defense. I'm going to go do YouTube. What brought you to that idea?
Honestly, I wasn't really excited about anything NSA related that we were doing. That didn't sit well with me. And and that's all I can say. Or else they'll come
No,
and
that's
get
that's
me.
fine. I'm just like, but like to go from that to like, okay, I'll go get a job in the private sector. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go back to school. I'm just gonna start streaming on YouTube. How was that?
Yeah,
How was
that's a
it
big
that
jump.
that came up?
It's a big jump. I actually went to school for video production. So I worked in television industry. I worked filming sports. I worked in TV studios. I've loved that, and I've actually had many failed businesses in that area before this. So I had all the equipment to live stream because of all the failed businesses I had before, and so it was just the natural go-to because it was available. It was ready. It was something I could do without leaving the home, and yeah, I didn't expect it to work, honestly. It wasn't.
Had you been what? Sorry, Valhalla, go ahead.
If that isn't like a moral of the story, just keep trying things until it works. I don't know what is, right? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's I can't tell you the number of times we had businesses. We had a business we were going to buy and sell houses, flip houses, and I guess everybody can do that except for us. We bought a house and fell in love with it and decided we're never going to sell.
You're not supposed to do that.
You don't make any money if you don't sell. And so,
Don't fall in love.
but no,
That's funny. So, had you been watching any other trial streamers at all before?
We'd watched a little bit of Johnny Depp. That happened. My wife and I loved that, watching that together. I've watched some of the bigger ones going back. Jodi Arias.
Okay.
A little bit. I don't know, not a ton.
Yeah,
I actually worked when I worked for the government.
Right?
I wasn't just on YouTube all day.
I remember my last job before I started law school. I worked in facilities at a construction company. But every once in a while, I would have to work the front desk and like answer phones and greet people as they walked into the office. And so it was incredibly boring. And so I would just watch YouTube. But back then it was like, you're just watching people that would upload, their home videos or, people falling down on slides or something. It was nothing special. And then all of a sudden one day it was like, oh, there's all these channels with a lot of stuff going on. And there's these trials that they're streaming. It just sort of sprang up one day, and I didn't really know that it existed. That was very cool to watch all that stuff, like Jodi Arias and whatever, on YouTube.
I love how big the internet is. I mean, it's crazy, but on YouTube there's room for like everybody. What if you've got an interest in a hobby, even if it's something obscure like goats? No, just kidding.
Right?
It's fairly obscure.
No, there's a huge genre section of the internet where people are raising goats, breeding goats, live streaming goats. Obviously
They're all
Valhalla.
in India, and then there's this one guy in Tennessee.
One guy in Tennessee.
One guy.
I actually had a point something percentage of viewerships in Kazakhstan the other day, and I thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah, that's not a country that pops up on too many YouTubers' feeds. I wouldn't
know
imagine.
they had the internet.
You must be super famous.
It was the U.S. Embassy.
Yeah.
No, it's just the idea that if you've got an interest in something, you can either find somebody out there who's sharing it, or you can share it and there's going to be an audience for you.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
And it's awesome.
Half Irish is asking Scott, have you been stalked by any creepy bugs lately?
No, but it's almost spring, and that's when they start.
Oh,
Like creepy bugs. I live in North Carolina, and they have what they call water bugs here. They're not water bugs; they're cockroaches. Everyone knows there's a cockroach. Just nobody wants to call it that.
They're huge cockroaches.
They're
though, right?
massive.
They're ginormous.
Yeah, and they move. They're super fast, and they aim for your eyes. It's like they're killer. I live in a house that was built in 1915.
Oh, so yeah,
It
you're
is,
going to get
it is
bugs.
a sieve, and although we don't have bugs that live in our house, they come in from outside, and those are the ones that scare me. I had one in the studio one time. Rob from Lawn Lumber actually did a little collection of that.
Nice.
There was one day it was in the studio. I was petrified, but
Rob's
Not a fan of bugs, huh?
Spreeflect asks, Scott, ever crack, EverQuest?
EQ?
I'm guessing that. Oh, that was back to the gaming.
did I ever play? Yes, I had a friend. I don't know what his name is in real life. I only knew him by his on-screen name. It was Gray the Bull. which I think was a translation from some other language. I still don't know what his name is, but he introduced me to crack. He was my original dealer, and got me. I went from there because what I got in when it was late and everyone was hacking. It was no fun. Like you'd set something down, somebody would steal it the second you put it down. But so I went from EQ to WoW with the short break in the middle.
That was a lot of gamer terms that I did not understand, but I'm just going to roll with it.
Yeah, we need Flux to come interpret for us.
I understood everything perfectly. I, however, didn't play those games. I could never really get into it.
Are you a gamer?
Zelda? Does that count?
A little bit. I was a Skyrim guy.
I will say I have my Nintendo Switch bedside with Zelda always at the ready. But I try to stay away from it because it will suck me in. A good game like Zelda, like those kind of games will suck me in. But
I've always thought like a ceiling mounted, like a projector that goes to the ceiling so I could just lay in bed and play the game looking up at the ceiling would be perfect.
That strikes me as slightly... Yeah, that strikes me as slightly unhealthy, I think.
You know, we need to get Chris Chan on this channel and do an interview with him because I feel like he has a projector. Well, it has a projector.
I don't want to know anything about Chris Chan's projections, if I'm being completely honest.
You familiar with Chris Chan, Scott?
I'm not. I can imagine.
Well, we'll just let it be for now. You have a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
I love spiders. I just don't like cockroaches.
Spiders. Oh my goodness! 1, 2, 3.
I feel like I missed. Oh no, I didn't miss a step. It's right here.
So, being in Department of Defense or whatever, you move around quite a bit. You from all over the place?
No, actually, I was a contractor, so I pretty much stayed in one spot. I worked at Taylor Force Base in Utah. That was our home base. But when contractors work for the Department of Defense, they work for like 100 different companies without moving. So instead of moving locations, you just every year your contract changes hands because there's a new bidder, and they just a paycheck gets signed by a different company, and you do the same work.
That's what my brother does, except he's on the private side.
Yeah.
Wendy, didn't you work for the Department of Defense?
I did. I worked as a GS. I was worked for the DoD as a civilian, and then a couple of years after I left that agency, I went on my own and contracted with the VA, doing the same work I did as a.
Valhalla, we're surrounded by glowies.
So
apparently, goodness.
And don't forget it.
You worked for the VA? Because
I worked for the VA as a contractor, so not as a civilian. Where were you? Did you do VA stuff too?
No, I was with DISA, Defense
Oh, you were?
Agency. So
I was a
DISA,
contracting. I was a contract specialist, so I probably did stuff with your agency.
Yeah, I probably kept the computers running that you worked on.
You probably did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually had my own job for DISA for like 2 years. Like I had to send them data every week from my agency.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. I've never met anyone.
Glowies everywhere, y'all.
Oh, we're gonna nerd
everywhere.
I had to.
I love the details in these things now. It's like it's a police department island, but yet we have like a little coal train car, and then we have
spider web.
Yeah, it just added little details. There's there's also like some dynamite sitting over here. You can see it, the little red thing.
Oh wait, that's cute.
Just weird little.
I was trying to do David single by himself, but there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see that.
Let's see.
These are the prisoners escaping in their tunnel.
That's what it is. Yeah, they're escaping through their tunnel. Because there's a prisoner right over here.
I'm sitting here looking at your finished boat and your rail car that slides on rails, and then I have here a little bit of black in the corner to show.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Love it.
Make sure you get the right black though.
I only have 4 colors to choose from. All the bricks are the same size. I've switched hands like 6 times. I can't feel my thumbs anymore.
That would hurt. Those little guys would hurt me, like pushing them in.
That garbage truck.
Aaron Hack says that's going to take like 2 years.
No. If I can do 12.8 blocks per minute, it will take 3 hours. That's
Jennifer
Done the math.
Juniper says, doing great, RA.
I love that you did the math. That makes me so happy.
Right?
Wait. So in the chat, Asshole React says, way to go. You got somebody bigger than you on. Oh, wait, that's everybody. Congrats. Oh, wow. So, yes, everyone is bigger than me.
Tell you that.
Way to go, Dave.
Being on, I never imagined when I first started. My wife actually had a channel as well. She still does. That she does homeschooling videos, and we sort of had a competition. It's like, who's going to be, the first one to be monetized, to reach that threshold. And I hit it on day 4.
Oh, yikes! That's hard to compete with.
It was
poor Mrs. RA.
I know. He is amazing. Yeah, I just found an amazing community, and it's just been incredible. And every day is just like, a blessing, and at the same time, just
a lot of work.
I still can't believe that I get to do something I love like this and call it work. That I can sit down and watch court and talk about it and hang out with a few hundred or a few thousand of my closest friends, and that at the end of the day, I'm lucky enough to be able to have it pay my bills. And
beautiful.
I must say that I find your community over there, your chat, really impressive.
Right?
Yeah, those guys, you guys are all very welcoming. You're all very supportive.
I agree.
You're all dedicated. I appreciate it. I think it's awesome.
They're the best part of the internet, honestly.
So somebody
I had a good chat, and then I stopped streaming.
Yeah,
now you're just stuck with me.
On the planet.
Now you're just stuck with me and Wendy.
Now you're just stuck.
That's it.
You can use the tool to push down too on the.
Oh my goodness!
So
I'm already ready to pick things up. Apparently, I can't.
You can probably do that.
The tool is fairly handy if you really start working with it. Going back to the Milky Way thing, I use this a lot. In the Milky Way project. Yeah. It was just a nice extra little tool to have. That was more intense than I thought it was going to be, the Milky Way. When you're like, oh, it's just a bunch of little pieces. This is going to be sort of, maybe a little tedious, but not terribly difficult. And it wasn't that easy to do.
Yeah, I'm not feeling better now.
Macy Helm says, RA is making the Recovery Addict logo.
Trying to make you feel better for not, for having a little bit of difficulty with it.
Little is the operative word.
I think chat should start guessing what RA is making. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, we should do a poll.
Yeah,
but I don't have options. I mean, mine would be completely random, like monkey. I have no idea what it would be.
I think it's a goat. That's what I think it is.
That would be.
I think it's his logo. That's what I think.
Well, that's what somebody, Macy said in the chat. I think it'd be cool if it's his logo.
I was going to get one for my logo, and then I just never ended up doing it.
Should I show you?
No.
Oh no, not at this point.
No.
Now you got to wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to.
David's Discord is RIP. Yeah. I just don't have the time. That's the biggest problem for me.
So Lena asked, can RA switch to the other one he has? I think he has decided that he couldn't if he wanted to.
The kids are already.
He gave that one to the kids.
The kids have finished it 20 minutes ago.
Oh, that's great.
Now everyone's going, yes, show us. Hi, Marissa.
So when you're streaming 22 hours a day, how does your wife feel about that?
She loves it. She loves it. And
yeah.
It's weird because I've been blessed with early onset amnesia or something. I don't know why. At the end of the day, I can end the live stream and walk out of there and my wife says, "Hey, how's your day?" I'm like, "It was great." And she, if she wasn't watching, she'd be like, "Hey, what case are you following?" And I'm like, it was somebody versus. Can't remember.
It was this guy that did this thing.
And then, what was the? I'm like, I can't even remember what it was about. Can't remember. We talked about it for 8 hours straight, but it's gone from my memory. So I don't take my work home with me. At the end of the day, it's just.
That's a good ability to have. being able to just turn, because some of this stuff gets intense, right? Because we're all in the court world on YouTube or whatever. Some of it gets pretty intense.
Welsh Lady reads, thank you for the $10 super chat. She says,
Hey, Welsh
Valhalla
Lady.
and panel, recovery addict is responsible for me. I wouldn't exist without him. So you can blame him, I think. Good luck, RA. We're all behind you, sir. Our community loves you and Mrs. RA. That's so sweet.
Well, now I need to kind of end the stream if Scott's responsible.
Stop it. Welsh Lady's awesome. You leave her alone.
So my biggest problem was I would, like, when I'm practicing law, I'm not sitting there engrossed in my documents unless I'm in the middle of a trial. I get up, I kind of know what my kids are doing. I, text with my wife. But when I'm streaming, I cut everybody out. And when I'm done, it's been 8-9 hours. I have no idea where anybody is, what they're doing, and I feel like I'm missing out on something. That was my biggest problem when I was streaming full time. Do you ever have any issues like that? Or
yeah, it's a lifestyle, right? I mean, it's not. When I worked from the DoD, I worked from home for 3 years. I was doing it before it was cool, before COVID and everything, and there was a lot in that job. I mean, I was able to literally take my family to the beach, on a work day and stay connected, and I could just be on and live and doing the things I needed to do. I took a flight. I'm pretty sure this is not a crime. I took a flight. I never told my boss, but I flew out to North Carolina to buy a house while I was working, and I never told him. And I paid for the Wi-Fi the whole time. I was on answering calls, doing my work while I was buying a house and moving, and they were never the wiser. So,
well, if you're getting it done, you're getting it done, I guess, right?
Statute of limitations says run on that, so you're good.
I hope so.
Josh Hutchings for $10 super chat. Recovery addict mods, keep him in line.
Josh is one of our mods. He's a great guy.
Thank you, Josh, for the super chat.
Thank you, Josh.
But no,
that's good.
There was time to hang out with the family then. It's a little harder now because especially if I can't just stream a court, put it up on my channel, and call it good. That would be a
right
copyright strike, and that was the end of everything. So it's a little different.
Yeah,
but we try to keep the weekends open and do stuff together then.
That's good.
Jennifer Juniper gifted 5 Valhalla Awaits memberships. Thank you, darling. Appreciate
Thank you so much.
Very kind.
You guys have awesome goat emojis now. You can free the fluffy.
Free the fluffy.
I just realized as I was setting up this live stream that my membership canceled out. I got to apparently update a credit card or something so I can get my goat emojis back on your channel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my credit card expired at the end of last year, so all of my memberships expired.
I had a similar experience last week with my power bill.
Oh, I heard about this. Speaking of admitting to crimes on the internet, tell me about this check fraud situation.
I bounced a check to the city. No, why did the city charges us, like my little town charges me $17 for a service fee, a convenience fee for paying my bill. And
I hate it.
And it's not for using a credit card. It's just for paying the bill. It doesn't matter if you come in with cash, check, credit card, they charge the same fee. I'm like, is there a way around this? The only way I can get around it is to give them direct access to my bank account, which I just don't trust them enough to do because,
you don't trust the government?
No.
The government. Why would he trust them?
Thank you.
I know too much.
I know too much.
They do know way too much. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay, let's see. Almost done with this part of the building, I think.
So I'm curious who you were following. You said you followed the court cases, right? What creators were you listening to? Who were the influences in RA's baby YouTube career?
The pillars of LawTube, the Emily D. Baker and Peter Tragos' fabulous hair, Ian Rungle, Rob. They were the ones I was exposed to first. but since then I've just found just a million little people that just have a different take on something. I mean, I've liked Pretty Lies and Alibis, the work she's doing lately. I would be remiss to mention people, but I mean, Melanie Little, Danny on Direct. I got to meet her when I was out at Corey Richens' hearing. Just a ton of little channels that I love to watch, and everyone has a different take, and, different insights. And that's what I love about YouTube. There's room for everybody.
Yeah.
It really is.
Why didn't you go to law school if you loved it so much when you were younger?
I barely made it through regular school. I only graduated high school because of careful timing of my summer school classes to get enough credit. By the time I was supposed to graduate, I had too much fun in high school.
I can relate to that.
They forced me out of high school with D's. They basically, I needed
Did you
to.
say they forced you out of high school with D's?
Well, I had
You
like I
were
was
getting D's?
I was getting worse than D's, but they gave me D's to get me out. But once I got to like college, and it was stuff that I actually wanted to learn and read, I made like the dean's list my first semester and stuff, and my parents were pissed. Like, why'd you put us through hell in high school? And then I ended up going to law school. But just because you did bad in high school doesn't mean you wouldn't do fine in law school. I was just curious if you liked it so much.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I didn't go back to college until I was an adult. So when I show back up in college, I went to it's actually an internationally famous school, Weber State University. It's famous for being cheap, and that's where I went. No, it's a local school. It's a state college in Utah, and I went there. And my first class was like an English 101 class. I walk into class and I'm talking to people, and people are asking me questions, and I'm like, hey, this is cool, because it's different once you're out of high school. It does change completely. It's an entirely different learning environment. People, college was more my style, and high school was not. But people come up and ask me all these questions, and then I realized that they thought I was the professor. Everyone was coming to me because I was the old person in the room, and I didn't know where to sit. So I was up at the front, just sort of like waiting until they gave us assigned seating, like they did in high school. And
outstanding.
And so I was like, oh no! But luckily for me, the professor came in, and she was like 90 years old. So I'm like, good.
So you're no longer the old one in the class.
Yeah.
It would have been when you tell that story again, make her like younger than you.
Right. She comes in, she's 23.
It was
Sorry,
fun.
you come in the wrong room.
I mean, like you, I got plenty of D's in college or in high school, and that class in college, that first semester, I won the school's writing competition.
Nice.
And cool. Because it was what do they call it? Creative nonfiction. So it has to be a true story. And so I told the story about finding a bomb, which I guess most people don't do, and it won. So
you found a bomb?
Found a bomb.
I'd like to hear this story, please. If I can.
Can we please?
I'm not sure if we have time. I'm almost done with my build. No, just kidding. So this was early winter, early December 1999 in Wasatch Front in Utah. Before I'm married, I can't get this block to fit. Why did I put that in first? Anyway, it was I went up fishing one day. It was actually Christmas Eve. Went up, and I lived at the foot of the mountain. So my mom's house was right at the base of the mountain, and I would hike up and fish these little streams and catch little rainbow trout. They're delicious and nutritious and taste like yummy food. And so I went up there. It was warm. It hadn't snowed yet. And for some reason that day, instead of going like walking just like 3 houses up and being on the mountain and heading up across the mountain to the canyon I wanted, I instead went across the city, like the top road that sort of goes next to the Firebreak Road right at the foothills. And I walked up that way. And I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why I walked that way, because I never do that. But as I walked up that canyon and got to the end of the pavement and started on the dirt road, I noticed a little wire on the side of the ground. little brown wire that was running along the dirt road. And I'm like, that's weird. You know, I mean, I don't come up that road a lot, but there's normally not a wire in the mountains. And so I'm walking along and I sort of keeping an eye on the wire, and it sort of goes up the hill and it goes wraps around some trees and up a really steep hill. I'm like, that's strange. And so I go up and I'm walking up to go fishing. And the further I walk, the more I think that wire just should not be there. And it's like, it's now like taking, you know, free rent in my head. I'm only thinking about this wire. I'm like, why is that wire on the mountain? You know, it's bugging me. It's like wires don't belong on the mountain. So I turn around to walk back down and I find the wire, and I go down to the end where it ends at right about the pavement, and I see that it's a little 2-strand, like a copper, like an old fashioned lamp cord type wire, that sort of wound copper.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 2 strands of that, and it's sort of split apart, and the ends have been, you know, exposed. So the 2 copper leads are showing. And so I follow it back the other way to see where it goes. And I follow it up the hill. It's been wrapped around, tied around branches, and it goes up steep up the hill, and it goes to a fence around a little water reservoir, like a retention pond where they run all the irrigation for the city. And knowing that there was a hole in the fence and the place where I could get in, I went through the hole in the fence, you know, because it's barbed wire across the top, and went in. And I followed the line down because the water was nearly empty, but I followed the line down into the drain area, and I stuck my head down, looked in the drain, and I'm, you know, my face is 8 inches away from a 20-pound propane canister with 6 pipe bombs duct taped around the outside, and on top there's a Tupperware dish where the wire goes in, and they all split, so each one has a separate detonator. And it's like, I had never seen a bomb before. It's plain as day. It's like, that's a bomb. So I get out of there. Of course, I've been trespassing to find the bomb. And so, I'm like, first of all, this is a problem. And so I call the police and I say, hey, there's something suspicious up there. But I can't say, hey, I looked in there and there's a bomb. And so I say, there's something suspicious up there. And you need somebody to go check it out. And then I sit there at my house with my police scanner on waiting. And they finally page it out. And there's like, hey, we've got a report of suspicious. They say something about a wire up at the water pond. You know, if you want to send somebody up. He's like, yeah, I'm busy right now. I'm like, no, you know, go. there's a bomb, right? And finally, a police officer goes up there. And I can both see them go up the road because they're just nearby. And then I can also listen on the scanner. And he goes up there and he's like, yeah, I see the wire. It's locked. If you can send somebody up from the water department, it has a key. And I'm like, okay. And so they finally get somebody from the water department. It's like 45 minutes later. They get up there, and I'm listening to the radio traffic. Yeah, we're going to check it out. And then the radio just explodes. And it's like, call the bomb squad. Get everybody. wake up the reserves. And it just, and the mountain just lit up with police lights. And they had found the bomb. And
that's intense.
And then while all this is going on, a couple of guys that I knew that are growing up knock on my door, and I hadn't seen them in a fair while. I hadn't seen them in about a week, but I hadn't seen them in a long time before then. One of them had just got out of the military, where they taught him, among other things, how to make explosives. And he said, hey, they're like, hey, Scott, can we talk to you? And so I go down to my room. We're talking to him. He's like, hey, we were trying to blow up a bomb up on the mountain. But the cops showed up. And I'm like,
you knew the guy?
You guys are idiots. And they had told me a week before that they had blown up a single pipe bomb in an old cinder block building. And I didn't really believe them. But I had gone up there, and the building was completely leveled. And I had not called the police on that. I haven't said anything, but these guys are there. I'm like, you guys are idiots. And they're like, we tried to blow it up. It wouldn't go up. We tried to go up again to set it off a second time, and the cops are all over there. I'm like, you guys are idiots. And they said,
wait, that means they could have blown you up on accident.
Just wait. They said, it's okay. We've got all the stuff at the apartment. We can make another. We're going to go make another. I'm like, I can't. You've got to turn yourselves in. They're like, no, we're just going to go make another one. And then I had a moral.
They're like, no, we're not going to turn ourselves in for making this first one. Don't worry about it. We're just going to make another one.
Had a moral dilemma. Called my neighbor, who happened to be on the water department and on the city council. Great guy. His name is Rick. I won't give his last name. I've actually been hunting with him and his son. great guy. I called him and I said, look, I'm in a weird spot. I called the police on this bomb. I now know the guys that did it, and they're going to make another one, and they're going to kill themselves or somebody else. And I wouldn't feel good about, I've got to say something to the authorities. And he's like, okay, come on over. I'll pick you up and we'll go up and talk to the cops. And at the time I had a concealed carry permit. And so I'm carrying a little Beretta 22 semi-auto pistol. And so he comes and picks me up. And on the way up, I say, Rick, just let him know I'm licensed to carry a concealed weapon and everything's fine. And I'm like, all right. So he says, stay in the car. He pull up next to like the big, huge, sheriff's vehicle that has the lights and all the people running around. And an officer comes over and opens the door and says, can you step out of the car for me? And immediately he puts his hand like on the small of my back where I had my pistol. And he's like, what's that? And he's like, it's my gun. He's like, why do you have a gun? I'm like, didn't you tell you? And so he took my gun from me. Didn't put any cuffs on me or anything, but he's like, hey, hop in the car. And I'm thinking, this is just weird. He was supposed to tell you that I'm licensed to carry a concealed weapon. Everything's fine. I'm just here to tell you about the bomb. And
just here to tell you about the little bomb I found. No big deal.
I found out later through the police report that my friend Rick got out of the car, walked over to the police and said, I've got the guy who made the bomb and he's here to confess. That was the quote he used.
What?
I don't know where he got that. I have no idea where he got that. And so I'm there thinking I'm the good guy, and the cops see me as not the good guy. And so we go with the gun. Christmas Eve, we drive down to the police station, and I find myself in a very small white room. And I tell the whole story to a detective. Awesome detective. He's now the police chief. He sits there, listens. He's writing notes the whole time. He's like, okay, hang on. I'll be right back. And he steps out, and I wait for seems like forever. And he comes back and he like kicks the door in or something. I jumped out of my skin, and he comes in, his face is red, and he gets right in my face and he's yelling, we've got evidence that puts you up here. We've got your fingerprints on here. We've got 2 people. And he's just like yelling at me. And what I found out later was that they don't have enough staff to have 2 people to be good cop and bad cop. And he literally had to be like the Lego guy that turned his head. And he was now being bad cop. And so he's just like ripping me a new one and trying to, twist the story or get me to confess or say, spill the beans that it was actually me or something.
Right.
And I stuck to my story. And finally I said, look, I've told you everything. If you don't believe me, all I can do is say I'm done. I want a lawyer or something. He's like, oh, it's fine. He turned a good cop really quickly, and he said, I just had to make sure we believe you. Just had to make sure. And so the cops up on the mountain, meanwhile, are dismantling this bomb and packing it in sandbags to move the individual pieces. And then while they're moving it, one of the pieces explodes, and it ripped out a section of the top, like the crossbar on a chain link fence, next to the entrance. And I still have that piece of fence. I got that and kept it. But they said it was equivalent to about 4 blocks of C4.
Oh wow!
And it would have done just a whole bunch of damage, probably to the houses and everything around there.
Yeah, that's a big explosion.
So I had told the police everything I knew, and they didn't arrest anybody for a while. They waited, and they finally arrested him when they were buying more materials at a local store. They were buying short pieces of metal pipe, end caps, and some wire, I think, all at the same time on the same purchase.
Oh my God.
So
did you learn not to talk to cops?
Yeah, that's where I first learned. But it was fun because after, you go to like the fairs where the cops set up all their fancy helicopters and their trucks and everything. And I went up and talked to the bomb squad. I'm like, so how many bombs have you found? And they're like, none. I'm like, so I've got you beat. Are you just not good at it or what?
That's intense, man.
Lois Cox says, are these guys still your friends?
12. Hang on, 13.
They're in prison now.
He's trying not to answer the question.
You do not have to answer that question.
One of them, they're not my friends anymore.
They're away at college right now.
Yeah.
What happened was they did 2 years in federal prison. 17, 18. Sorry, I need to get this right or I'm going to mess up my picture.
No worries.
1920. And after
He
they got
is-
out, I ran into one of them, and he always carried a knife everywhere he went, and I carried a gun. And I pulled into a little store, and he pulled in right behind me, so I couldn't pull out. And he jumped out of his car with his hand in his pocket, reaching for something, and I reached into. I had a shoulder holster at the time. I reached for mine, and we both sort of just froze in that position, and we talked as if nothing was going on. Like, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Yep. And he got in, and he left, and he actually died of an overdose about a year later. But haven't seen him since.
Wow.
The moral of the story is cops don't believe you. Cops don't believe anybody. And then when they have the credible information, they don't go after the right people. That's the problem I have with modern prosecution. And that's why I started streaming trials myself, was to kind of like educate people on some of these things. You know, not everybody who's charged with a crime is guilty.
Right.
And really need to look at the evidence. And I try to encourage, at least when I was streaming full time, encourage people, you know, the running joke is, oh, you know, always try to get out of jury duty and stuff like that. But you should want to serve on the jury so that you can make sure that a corrupt government or police that are just sort of trying to get an easy win or, you know, scare a kid into confessing to, you know, planting a bomb when he really didn't, actually get a conviction out of that.
I was lucky. I didn't have to go testify against him in court. Actually, one of the brothers turned and flipped, went state's witness, and there were three brothers, two brothers and a half brother, and the half brother turned on the other two, and so I didn't have to testify. But I did find out after the fact that oh my goodness,
Hold on,
Look at
David.
this. It's got a little sliding door.
So
The
cool.
little- The little door slides open and closed, and then it's got a little helipad on it.
Oh, from my helicopter.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's
When I
getting
come
there.
stalk you, I have somewhere to land. Thanks, David. RA is building, people have asked, he is building a mosaic. So
and at this point you can change what I'm building. It's not too late because I haven't got to the part that's interesting.
I'll set this right up there.
he is, if you look in the bottom left, Greeners, that's RA's build. There you go. Oh, thank you.
I
Yeah,
have
that
to
is
do,
cool.
have to do better than 12.8 Legos per minute.
I
Almost
have not been
makes
counting my Legos per minute. I feel like I need to now, though. That needs to be something that
I'm
we do.
super interested in that
It's
now
the
for
same.
like, just to know,
I know. I want to
Start
know what
working
I'm
on
gonna have
our-
to go back
our-
through and count.
right?
Start working on our
Bring up
pieces
something
per
you're
hour averages.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm at a 13.7 this week. I'm on fire. New PR.
I feel bad. I'm bringing absolutely nothing to the conversation because every time it's quiet, I'm just focused
you
on
kidding
building.
We are loving your
You told
story,
the most awesome bomb story ever. What are you talking about?
right?
Oh, I left a part out. I found out afterwards on the through the police records that what happened was the brothers built the bomb and they used detonators and tried to set it off with a 9-volt battery, but the length of the wire caused too much resistance and it wouldn't trigger it. So they they first built it. They didn't take the battery, so they went back home to get the battery. I went up fishing and I was up there while they came back with the battery and tried to set it off. By timeline, I was probably very near the bomb when I was looking at the bomb when they were trying to set it off and it wouldn't go off. They went home to try to find a car battery so they could use it and set that off. And then the cops were there before they came back. So it could have killed me.
You're very lucky.
So lucky. Lexi says Valhalla is going to need more beer if this turns into speed Lego.
Well, luckily for me, Mrs. Valhalla brought some home with her after she got off.
Lucky for you, you have a Mrs. Valhalla. She's the
Mrs.
best.
Valhalla is amazing.
You know,
We
I
love
believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that you and I have gone head to head twice, and I've beaten you both times.
Well, you had electronic assistance.
Hey, by the way, how are you liking it?
Did it
So,
bring
so
up battery?
I just don't know what we're talking about. Is that instead of using the paper book, we have these. It's an app on the iPad, and you can like spin it around, and it shows you how to, put the pieces together exactly. And so Valhalla just now, I've been telling him about this for about a year.
For a long time.
Just now got the app.
Tonight's the first night I'm using it.
So how do you like it?
Yeah, how are you?
It's a lot better. Like a whole lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing this forever now. Like I'm never using the manual
Not
again.
going back to okay.
Is it better just because you have more desk space? You don't have to move the map around type thing, or is it?
No,
It's
instead
easier
of
to see.
So that was
That's
the
why I
biggest
like it.
problem. Is like your eyes staring at that glossy paper with all the lights in your face. My eyes just get so wrecked by the end of the stream. And you got to mess with the book and turn the page, and they don't always give you the best images to work with in the instructions. So you're trying to figure out what the hell you're looking at most of the time. And it's just a lot easier, a lot more convenient. This seems to be a lot faster paced just by pushing the over button. You know what I mean?
He's learned my secret now.
Yeah.
Secret is out. Aleta Lay, recovery addict Scott. Do you have your Deer Park water?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
What is Deer Park water?
Not
His Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Deer Park is my favorite brand of water, and we keep joking that we want them to sponsor me. I've even reached out to them because that's the only thing I drink, at least as far as water is concerned. But with it being a late stream, I have got 3 bottles of Mountain Dew chilling.
Right. I love it. Thank you, DNB, for the 5 Valhalla gifted membership.
Thank you.
I've got 2 bottles of Michelob Ultra, and I feel like I'm going to go through them both today and then go get some more.
I feel like
I think you should.
Yeah, I think so too.
Break out a bottle of
Deer Park water happens to be the water that we also enjoy and consume.
It's good stuff.
It really is. It's a spring water, and it just tastes.
I prefer Evian if I had
Oh,
my
you would.
say.
Gross.
I used to work as a temporary job. I used to work at a place that made bottled water. And
really,
we would send one of the drivers up, and I don't know how they rigged this up, but we'd drive up and we would connect to the fire hydrant and fill up the water truck with city water, and then we would bottle it and sell it. And this is legal. I don't know how everybody else does it, but that's how we
committed to 3 crimes tonight. Already.
That's like what Coca-Cola did in England, and they got shut down real quick.
Oh, that's terrible.
Apparently, it's illegal to bottle like municipal water and sell it in England or something. There was something screwy like that, and that's exactly what Coca-Cola did.
Seems like a good law.
I think the only water that tastes amazing is out of the hose, and you can't drink out of a hose anymore, I guess. So I'm just.
I drink
like
out of a
that.
hose all the time. What are you talking about?
Nobody's going to stop you, Wendy. Yeah.
Right?
do
I
it.
live in California, though, Val, remember?
Well, actually, California might stop you.
Yeah, you might get life in prison for that.
It's drought season. You can't be drinking out of the hose. What are you doing?
That's why I had to get artificial turf because I didn't want to be that loser that had the ugly lawn.
Why don't you just move, Wendy? Just move to Ohio. Come on, you got kids there. Just move to Ohio.
Right? It's really, really, really cold. Like
it is not. I'm sweating, and it's 30-some degrees out.
Because you're in the treehouse with a heater on.
No, the heater's off now. No, never mind. It's still on.
I've got to know.
But
Is it really a treehouse? Are you like?
Yeah. When he
There's
builds,
chickens underneath him.
it's a luxe.
So yeah, there's chickens. So I built this tree house years ago for my kids. It's even got like little windows and stuff in here, and then there's other windows over here across from me. And so my son always had like a cot in here and like a couch and stuff, and he would hang out here with his friends. And then they're older now and they don't use it. So when I needed like a private studio to do this full time, where I wasn't disturbing everybody in the house, I said, well, we got the tree house. So I'm just in the tree house.
That is awesome. I imagine there's a sign like "No girls allowed" on the door.
There used to be that one. Now, we have like other signs like "This is my treehouse, stay out of it" sort of thing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, below me is the chicken
"No
coop.
girls allowed" sign.
Well, sometimes you like girls around as you get older.
He's got Jody Aries' legs above his head. He's happy.
But so I've got a chicken coop below me, and there's 2 chickens left right now, but I've got 6 more in the garage growing until they're big enough to be below me. So when I would stream in the middle of the day, the chickens would carry on, and you can hear them in the background because they're just below me. There's really no insulation in here.
And it's warm enough for you? The lights keep you toasty?
You know, I have a little how do we see it? Right there, you can see the little heater in the corner.
Oh yeah,
It's like a little yeah, and that's all I need. I put it in here for a couple of hours before I go live, and it's 30 degrees, 20 some degrees, and I'm literally sweating. I'm just wearing a sweatshirt, and it's hot. Like my face is sweaty right now sitting in here. It's a little too warm.
Do you have to climb like a rope ladder to get up to it?
You know, I made a stairway that's retractable, so you can actually hinge it up to keep the girls out. So that's what I climbed, but it's not exactly designed, we'll say, to code. So if I have too many Michelob Ultras, it's sometimes a little difficult to get down.
Going up is easy. Going down.
Yeah, going up is easy. Yeah. Going down, well, I've gone down the wrong way, I think 3 times. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. By the way, Valhalla and Wendy, Jamie was in the treehouse last weekend.
Oh, was she?
What?
Yeah. She came by to pick up the shirt for Baker before she went over to Denmark.
How fun!
Yeah, like, well, you got to see the treehouse. You got to get in
Oh,
there.
jelly.
And so she's going down the stairs, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can see why you fell."
Yeah, I bet. Jamie's getting around this week. Yeah, girl.
I know.
Yeah, she's out in Denmark right now.
That was
Yeah,
amazing.
so-
I loved seeing that stream Baker did today.
So Scott, talking about how your first stream, you had like 13 people, and it was amazing. When I first started streaming, I had one person in my chat for like 3 days, and it was this woman named Jamie. And she ended up living 40 minutes from me, but I was like, well, why don't you come on panel so I have somebody to talk to while we're streaming this trial? And so she came on, and then she was always sort of my sidekick for about a year as I was streaming trials. And then when I sort of retired from YouTube, now she's working with the Broken Baker. So
Awesome.
she goes and hangs out with him. And she's in Denmark now visiting the Broken Baker. But she's one of those people that, never leaves their home. So the fact that she came over and actually was in my treehouse is amazing.
Denmark. I've got family in Norway, right? And
okay.
My mom's from there. And we went over there.
Oh, where at?
From Larvik.
I was just in Oslo. I was just in Oslo in January. My wife is Swedish. We were there, so we drove up through Sweden into Norway and into Oslo. So that's the extent that I'm familiar with anything.
It's a beautiful, beautiful country. The fjords there. That's where I like to say I learned how to fish. My grandpa and my uncle taught me up there. But when I was a kid, I had when we went there as a family. First of all, it was a huge family, and so as soon as we arrived, like the newspaper showed up to take a picture of local girl returns with 10 kids or something.
How cute!
And my aunt was taking pictures of us, and I was doing all the things you do when you're in Norway. We were like fishing for crabs with mussels and strings on the beach. And she took a picture of me standing on a rock catching a crab. I'm wearing like the shortest pair of white swimsuit trunks known to man. I just scrawny kid barefoot holding this up, grinning from ear
We're
to
just
ear.
happy you had trunks on,
Yeah, it's Norway. It's optional. But she submitted the picture to the newspaper, and it won second prize in a beauty contest, which I like to claim. I lost to a bird's nest with some little chicks in it.
You're
Isn't that a Monopoly?
George lost to a bird's nest. Otherwise, you came in second in a beauty contest. That would be while it being long, that would be my slogan for my channel.
Isn't that a Monopoly goal? Like from Community Chest or whatever?
Second, yeah, it is actually. Yeah. I think you're right. So you won second prize, collect $10. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm still on my first color. This is crazy.
So, Scott, what does the world need more of?
Ooh. people listen when they
Oh,
talk. And I say this as somebody who talks for a living. So I don't know. I don't want to be a downer on the show. This morning I went to my friend's funeral.
oh I'm
He
sorry.
died at 37. He's got a kid who was 5 and a kid who was 3. His
Ay,
wife is 8 months
Jesus.
pregnant, and it just and it was just there was no signs. There was nothing. And so it was. I was able to live stream it for him so the family could do it. That's something I could sort of give to him. But it sort of just puts everything in perspective. It's like, whoa, you mean one day I could wake up and it's all over, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So all the peripheral stuff sort of falls away when you're looking at it. It's like, what really matters, and what really matters, the way I get snarky with somebody on the internet probably is not important. I probably need to spend less time doing that and more time, doing something constructive or doing something positive. And so I don't know. I've got to mull things over and weigh it, but I don't know. But great guy, man. Life goals, be like him.
Right.
Well, R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Sir. Oh, David,
And
hello.
on that note, I got my helicopter done.
Goodness.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
really cool. I'm really liking this.
I like it a lot. It's very
I like how there's a lot of it's interactive, like it's pieces to play with.
Yeah. So this goes up on here. I'm assuming. Look at that. There we go.
Yeah,
Helicopter's
like
up
doing
top.
Lego with friends. Do more Lego with friends, people.
Yep.
Yes, do more Lego.
I'm
with
all
friends.
for more Lego.
Right?
You all for more Lego? You want to
I'm
do a
all
Lego
for
stream
it.
every day?
Let's all right, y'all. Lego gets expensive a little bit, so I don't know if I can.
I'm running out of room to store them all. Like I moved a lot of
Same.
them around,
Jeez,
and I'm running out of
same.
room to keep them. And I'm not getting rid of them. I'm not one of those.
You know,
people that,
honestly-
I want to buy Lego and do that. And then,
Honestly,
get rid of
Coke addiction might be cheaper if I'm being completely
them. Actually, be cheaper.
Well, you could do more Lego then.
faster anyway.
Yeah.
That would
I don't
for
know.
sure improve my my hourly block rate.
Right? You're per minute. Instead of how many 18 blocks a minute, you'd do like 20.
Yeah.
I'm currently removing like 13 blocks per minute because I've messed this up.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the fun
that's
part.
the worst. By the way, look, it got a little. They have a little Lego dog. Look at this
How
little-
cute, puppy.
Well, that's cool, man.
Oh,
Is that
he's
it's a police
adorable.
dog too? It's got a vest.
Yeah, the little police dog. Yeah. It's got a little- it's got a little
Oh, I didn't
police
even
dog.
notice that. That's super cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I love the videos when they retire canines, like the police canines, and they're like in the cruiser with their human, and the dispatcher does like a whole retiring Pepper. I just ball. It's so
The
We have
final
a-
call off or whatever. The
Yeah.
call
We have a
off, whatever they call
police and military dog cemetery right around the corner from my house. Or not around the corner, but in my town. And it's kind of cool. They have a lot of services there, and there's a lot of service dogs there.
I'll tell you guys this, and I've told the story on the internet several times, so I won't bore you too much. But RA, if you don't know, I'm a infantryman. I was an infantryman, right? I was in the army. Went to Iraq twice.
Oh, thank you for your service.
We did. Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
You don't need
No, don't please. But we did one or two missions with the bomb dogs in the truck with us. Oh my God, you think soldiers with PTSD are bad? Those dogs they just get so out of control.
wow. I never thought of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Turns out they don't like explosions much either.
Yeah, right?
You get PTSD too.
Yeah, of
For real.
course.
For real.
It's always
Yeah,
awesome
dogs.
when a working dog like that can be, brought home and just
Retired.
get a dog's life for a little bit,
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes that's not always possible, but
No, definitely not.
Poor pup. Yeah.
I used to organize my Lego pieces too, and I find myself doing it less and less.
I do too. Less and less. It might just be because
The
we're so
better you
familiar with the shapes, though.
Yeah, we build them a lot.
A few more people have asked what RA's building. He's building a mosaic, and we don't know the final.
Don't know the
Image.
final image yet.
Yeah, the image. Thank you.
So
I got you.
Alex,
So as he's building it, you can see it. So as it gets closer and closer, if somebody throws in chat what it actually is,
right?
And gets it right, that would be kind of cool.
Wow.
But we
will
don't have
be
a prize for you other than bragging
Oh,
rights.
so we don't have a prize, but we'll be happy and impressed. Alexandria
We'll collectively
Talbot
clap.
for the $2 super chat. Who is guessing RA is doing a self-portrait?
Not me.
I think I'm still going with a goat. I'm still going with a goat.
That would be really cute.
A goat seems appropriate, but I still think my gut is his logo. That was my gut instinct. But I might,
which would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Tell you one
Aaron
thing.
Hack says we'll know in 3 years.
When I'm
We'll know in 3 hours.
Speaking of, what's with the pickle and the sandwich and everything on your logo?
Okay, so
And the
you
hot
guys,
cocoa.
you guys know this. You don't always choose what becomes a thing on your channel, right?
This is true.
Community chooses.
This is true.
I would take breaks and I'd have a sandwich, and I'm like, of course, sandwich with pickles and everything. Pickles, people picked up on the pickle, and I don't know. I don't think I put any stress on. I mean, like it's got to have pickles type thing. I like pickles. Yeah, there's a nice one. I like pickles, and it just became a thing. And when we had a fan that did the artwork for that, they included the pickle on the sandwich, and I now have people that send me crocheted pickles and singing pickles and yodeling pickles and pickle costumes and dancing pickles, and it's I've loved it. It's just become a thing on the channel. We always say pickles, not politics, is our goal, so we try to keep
that's
it
pretty good. So, are you familiar with who this is, by chance?
From a cartoon, right?
Yes, from Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. No, I was
Pickle Rick.
Rick and Morty.
You know, you're screaming goat.
Mm-hmm.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty. A pickle Rick.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's really cool.
That was a gift from the expert. He's got one, and I fanboyed over it, so he got me one.
It's fun. I've had people send me just amazing things, and I love it because I never expected that that this live streaming thing would form a community where I actually sort of got to know and became friends with people that I hadn't met before. That part of it was foreign. I thought I would just be producing stuff and it would just be random people out there watching. And didn't understand that there was an audience that I would come to know and love, and that would start mean a ton to me individually. So it's fun to have connections, and sometimes they share interesting stuff from their life with me that they've made or that they're interested in. And I've got more pet pictures on my phone from people than I mean, I could make a Google book or something. I don't know what's
right.
Encyclopedia of pet pictures.
That was a big surprise for me as well. I didn't expect the social aspect of YouTube to exist when I got into it. I was like, oh, there's actually a social link to this too, as well as just the the content. It gets a little more real, a little more personal.
Yeah, I was never a chatter when I would watch YouTube. Like I would watch Ricada or Uncivil and Emily D. Baker, but I never chatted. I just watched them. And so I didn't realize the whole chat dynamic and all of that existed out there until it was too late.
Till it was too late.
That's the best part. Are you kidding me?
It is
right.
Yeah,
definitely the best part.
Like I've made like real friends, like that are gonna be in my life until they bug me. Yes, that is Joe Coy in my picture. That was from last Christmas when I saw him, and I'm going to go see him again in May. I'm a little bit of a
I don't know
fan.
who that is.
Comedian.
We've talked about it on this channel like 8 times.
3 times.
Have
Mhm.
we? Yeah,
At least.
I have that thing that Scott has. That
Temporary amnesia.
yeah. That's
It's a
it.
blessing and a curse. I also have the ability to repeat back something I hear verbatim without ingesting anything for comprehension.
You know what's
pretty cool.
interesting is I have a tendency to do that with a legal matter. Like if I'm asked a legal question, like in the heat of oral arguments in court, I will say definitively, this is the law. I won't have the citation, but I like heard it somewhere and I don't know where I heard it or why it's there, but I'm able to just sort of kind of like pull something random up in my head. Not always just legal things, but it's interesting.
That's really cool.
I feel like you should have gone to law school, Scott.
Yeah,
There's still
right?
time.
There's still time. Yeah, there's no
Not too
age limit,
late.
right?
There's no age limit.
And they have the law schools now that are like for working people, so you don't have to go like all day and go at night.
That's the one I went to.
What
4
if
years.
What if I were just to do like the catch
Online
me if you can
courses.
thing and just
take the bar.
cram for the weekend and take the bar and whatever.
it.
Like Virginia, they don't require you to go to law school over there,
Do
right?
it.
You can just take the bar.
I think that's right.
There's
a couple states out there like that.
I feel like they should offer that. And I know some states are doing away with the bar exam, period. Or at least talking.
All pro se all the time. What are they going for?
No, they would be going more for like you got to go to law school and you got to apprentice, and then you can just be admitted, which is sort of the way it used to be done for years.
That's how you used to become a doctor too.
See, if I did this, I would never represent anyone, including myself. I would just do it so that I can say I passed the bar. I've done the work. But I would never trust somebody else's life to my ability to argue, in a situation like that. It scares the day.
That's what makes it fun.
You don't have to do litigation. There's all kinds of stuff.
There's
Yeah, but I suck at paperwork. Remember my high school story? It's terrible.
The guy we interviewed last time, he actually had a Juris Doctorate's degree, but he's a high school or a middle school history teacher. He never used it, but for a couple of years. And but you could still get it if you wanted to, if you felt so desired.
Yeah, I don't think he's into it. I think we're just trying to talk him into it.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if you guys want
I don't like school.
the answer to the question on the screen.
Oh, you don't?
Why?
I'm not sure how much raw bathroom information you need to know about. Let me just tell you, those spicy dill Cheetos.
Oh, they're
burn-
spicy.
They burn twice, and they are
Oh,
hot.
So we're doing a warning for all future.
They burn twice. I like that. That's a good way.
Now
to
I'm
say
going to
it.
have to get them. Now I'm intrigued.
Right?
I would stick to the serving size suggestion on it instead of like the whole bag.
How can you eat just a serving size of any kind of chips? I'm sorry.
Have you ever done the one chip challenge?
No.
What's that?
No.
Like
It's
just trying
like
to eat
one
one?
of those
It's a
unworldly spicy.
People like get collapsed lungs from that, just coughing. It's
Yeah.
Oh.
That's scares the daylights out of me.
Where did you find the dill Cheetos, Scott?
Somebody mailed them to me.
Oh, okay.
There was actually I went to the local murder Walmart and looked for them, and they had sold out right before I got there.
Wait, what's a local murder Walmart?
We have a Walmart in Greenville, North Carolina, that like it's like Crime Central. To get there,
Okay.
you drive down like 11. You take a right on Greenville Boulevard. You turn left on Hooker right after Hooters. Past Hooters, turn left on Hooker Road, and then you're at Walmart.
Hooters and Hooker
Sounds
Road.
like a great area. I'm gonna.
They've had people abducted from that store. Like honestly, like kids abducted.
Oh my God.
From the store. It's scary. There's like more police trailers with cameras and lights in the parking lot than actual shoppers.
There's you ever watched the TV show Superstore? It was on years ago. It's
Loved
like
that show.
it's like a parody of a
Loved
Walmart.
it.
They're the store that they worked at. Their claim to fame is that they were the store that had the most feet found. Not just like feet. People's human feet are found at that store more often than any other store. That was their claim to fame. It reminds me of that. Luckily, our Walmarts are not dangerous. They're just gross. The people there are gross, I should say. The stores are fine.
Cloud9. Yeah, Cloud9. Yeah, that's what this
Cloud9,
was
yeah.
called. That was the best show.
That's a great show. I would just rewatching it when I was in Sweden and Norway last. I like to download shows and take them with me because I sometimes can't stream different things. So I downloaded every episode of that show, and that's what I was
Nice.
watching when I had downtime there. And it's a great show.
Is anybody watching? It's on Netflix and it's got Kate Hudson in it, and she's like owns a basketball team. Has anyone
Just
watched
started it. I just watched
Love
the first
it.
episode.
so far?
I just watched the first episode. It's pretty good.
Cool.
It's called the Point something Point.
Yes. Point Break, maybe? Or is that something else?
That's
That's
a that's a
something
That's
that's
a
a movie.
real
That's
movie.
that's the first time I discovered the female anatomy was in that movie.
Oh, was that like a Porky's movie?
It was just it had a scene that was like, oh, that's what they look like.
Oh,
Wasn't that when you were like 36 years old that movie came out?
yeah.
No, when that movie came out, I was like 10. It's an old movie.
Point Break? Isn't that the
Yeah.
one with Blake
I feel like
Lively
it's
came out
from,
like
like, the olden days.
2004 or something?
No,
No, I think that's from the olden days.
no, it's with what's his name? Who Dirty Dancing? He died of cancer, and
Yeah, Patrick Swayze.
Patrick
was a surfing
Swayze,
movie.
and yeah, he played like a surfer bank robber because for some reason that was something. It came out in like 89 or 90.
Keanu Reeves was in
It's
it?
that old. Oh God, Keanu Reeves. He
Yeah,
can't act, but he's so handsome.
Hey,
If he was
if
just-
you hold on. I will not let you just besmirch the great work of Neo and not address this statement. Have you not
I've
seen
never
the
seen one of those
Replacements?
movies, so I can't say that.
The
I can't-
Replacements? Oh my god, it's amazing.
All right, Scott, favorite movie.
I am insulted.
Sorry,
Brother,
Dave.
where art thou?
I'll take it back.
That is
I
a
wanna
great
hurt you.
movie. That is a really underrated movie, and not enough people have seen it.
Say the movie again?
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Oh,
Pretty good.
I love that movie. I forgot about that.
He became a horny toad. There's just so
George Clooney.
they're afraid they're on the run and their friend disappears, but they see a toad. Like when they're looking for their friend, and they're like, "Oh, he
was
turned
a
into
toad.
because they were like lusting after these women in the scene just prior. So he like died and turned into a horny toad or something. I don't know. It's the most ridiculous movie with George Clooney, but it's awesome.
As far as cartoons go, I'd have to say the Fantastic Mr. Fox is right up there.
Oh, I've never seen
I
that.
have no idea what that is.
I think it's actually like claymation or something. It's
Claymation.
It's
I'm gonna
about
Google that
it's
now.
about
I'm
a
curious.
fox that steals hens from the hen house and gets his tail shot off by the farmer, and it's
Oh, that's ringing a bell.
just I
That's
don't
like
I don't
every
know why I
movie.
like that one, honestly, because it's just weird all the way through. But
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I don't watch many movies, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not a movie person. I like to watch I like to binge watch. I like to watch series. Like a
All
series.
at once. Just stay up
Same.
for 2 days straight. Watch
Yes.
the whole thing.
Yes.
I just watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the first time ever. I've
Oh,
never
it's
watched
so
that show.
good.
I watched it all the way through, probably about 4 times now in the last 2 weeks since we've been streaming last. So I've watched them all at least 4 times. It's a great show.
I didn't love the last few years, but I love the first several seasons. Oh, it's just brilliant. Loved it. Oh, yeah. Marissa says Benny and June is my fave movie. I think that's my parents love that movie. They love it.
Never heard of that one either.
That's with
Oh,
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. It's
Johnny
really
Depp
cool.
and Winona Ryder,
No,
right?
I like those
no,
two.
that's Gilbert Grape.
Oh, that's
It's
Gilbert
the blonde
Grape.
girl, the other kind of actress of that era, I can't remember her name. I'm gonna look it up. Someone will know in chat.
I was thinking Gilbert Grape. That's with Leonardo.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, you couldn't make that movie today, by the way. What, eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh, they would have to use a person who actually suffers from that disability, huh?
Yeah, Leo couldn't get away with doing that.
No,
today.
no way. Rescue dogs. My favorite movie is Como Agua para Chocolate, like water for chocolate, the original
that's not a real
Mexican
word.
version. So
You
good.
just want to say the name. That's all. You don't care about the movie.
You're just making things up now, Wendy. Those weren't even real
100%.
words.
100%. I just wanted to speak the only Spanish I know. Sound people.
The only Spanish she knows.
Okay, I am breaking a sweat here trying to push these Legos.
Right?
This is hard work.
I know I'm getting hot too. David made me hot when he said it's hot.
It's warm.
Oh,
I'm slowing down a bit.
chocolate
I'm
is a
taking a
great
break. I'm gonna kick back and drink my beer.
Yes, Bill and Ted. Oh, thank
Bill and
you.
Ted was good.
McCray H for the $10 super chat. Keanu Reeves allegedly owns a house in the random suburb where I live. He has been spotted riding his motorcycle around North Carolina. Is that what? Yeah.
That's awesome.
The Good Wife. I've watched The Good Wife like the first season, but then
Same.
couldn't get into it.
Same.
I don't know about the first. I don't know about that either.
It's
I
kind of
apparently don't watch a whole lot of movies or shows or anything.
Apparently not.
No. I spend most of my time on YouTube browsing.
Same.
I spend less and less time watching YouTube since I stopped streaming so much to it. And I'll pop in and say hey to people, but because I'm not streaming to it, I'm trying to like distance myself. I'm like, no, it's time to work. I got to focus.
Yeah.
But I have this thing in my head where I always have to have noise. I have to have something going. It can't be music because music, well, it's like silence. It's the same for me. It just drifts off, and then I'm alone with my thoughts, which is scary. So I need like a TV show. Like when I studied for the bar exam, I had Scrubs going every episode, just in a constant loop. You know,
I love that show.
Episode 1 all the way through, and then start over again. And that's how I studied for the bar. And it's the same way now. So when I'm at the office and I'm working on a brief or something, I usually have a show going on in the background. But it can't be allowed to, because then I'll
pay attention.
I want to comment and I want to say this, and you know, I'll do it for like specific things, like the Karen Reed hearing, you know, that happened last week. I'm like, all right, I want to watch this, so I'll pay attention to it. But otherwise, I got to just watch something stupid that's gonna not distract me.
Speaking of the Karen Reed, Scott, I'd like to ask you about that. I suppose what's your thought there?
Karen Reed is a case I love for the legal issues and hate for the drama outside of court.
Right.
I honestly think the out of court drama is bad for us as court watchers, because you know, I think
You're talking about Turtle Boy specifically, or all of it.
I wouldn't pin it on one person. I think there's both sides really have gone too far, and I think it's I think the case itself is fantastic to watch. I think the judge has gone too far. That the bias is showing, but I also am not
bias. She's just allowing all the state's witnesses and none of the defenses.
We'll let the state's dog trainer testify about dog bites, but you need a doctor to do it. So
you need a medical doctor. They can use a dog trainer. How does that?
When does she decide who has a conflict and can't represent a client?
I heard an interesting theory about that today. Speaking of the Turtle Boy character, who I enjoy thoroughly. Not
we've had him
whatever.
on our channel.
Yeah, I like Turtle Boy. But he I think it was his post actually. He was talking about how the only reason he's getting charged with this new one is so that she can keep this conflict and keep Bettero out. I don't know how true it is.
Wait, is he
but
being
it's
charged with a
interesting.
new crime?
Oh yeah, he went to court the other day and got charged with another witness intimidation charge, I believe on Buchanan now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Alleging specifically. See, that's how far out of the loop I am.
Something to do with when he had a megaphone and was doing that
when he was doing the roving protest thing.
Yes, that thing.
That was like 3 years ago.
I know.
I'll just dig up the past. We didn't care about it 3 years ago, but now all of a sudden he's a danger.
Well, like I said, Aiden thinks that it's mostly probably just to keep Bettero out of the Karen Reed stuff, which I think would be an interesting development if that were the case.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of your last comment, Scott, what do you think covering cases like we are, or just having cases being broadcast in general, so that if you want to watch court, you don't have to actually physically sneak in the back door like you used to do.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a benefit to that on a societal level?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of transparency in the courtroom. Massive. I just know that judges get because I don't just stream. We send equipment to court cases. We have live views and apply as pool media. I've got cameras,
nice.
and tilt zooms. We are set up to be the pool feed for court, and getting that access to the court is sometimes an uphill battle, especially when you're not mainstream media. So
yeah, that's the issue I had with the Crumbly case, is that I had developed a relationship. That's the court that I practice out of quite a bit, and I had been talking to all the clerks and everybody like that for a while, making sure that I was going to have my cameras in the courtroom for that. And then all of a sudden, it was like, nope, we're going to go with Channel 7 ABC because
That was awful.
yeah, it was last minute. And I was
It was.
yeah, I don't know. It's a burden being that camera person because the judge makes rules, and as you know, he can throw you in the slammer if he doesn't like you. As he
Right.
But I don't know. I'm a big fan of more transparency, and I think there's a line that if we push too hard, that it's going to come back and bite us, and we'll lose some of the access we're getting. So.
I feel like the floodgates are open. I'm not sure if they're ever going to be able to go back to less cameras in the courtroom. I think they might say, like, we had a case in Michigan here just last week where a woman had ran her car in a drunk driving incident into a clubhouse and killed a couple of kids.
Oh yeah.
That trial, the court was allowed the local news to film it, but they couldn't live stream it. They could only broadcast it at the end of the day, and which was an interesting approach.
Wow.
But I don't know the reason why they ended up doing that way. But I feel like courts might go that route. As opposed to like not having cameras at all. I don't see that going away. I don't see cameras going away in general. But they might go.
I'd like to see a day where we can watch federal court cases as well.
Oh,
Yes.
please sign me up for that. I think the
That's
federal
where
courts
things
really
really
a lot of
start getting-
transparency.
Yeah, it's going to take a generation of Supreme Court justices to die and new ones to come in before that ever happens. I'm surprised we even get the audio transcripts the next day, or the audio recordings from oral arguments the next day in the Supreme Court. What's interesting is that the Supreme Court allows that, but they don't allow even the same minimal amount of access to regular court proceedings in federal court. And if you guys think people are getting railroaded in state courts based off of everything you watch, just go sit in a federal court case.
Yeah, don't they have a high rate of success of prosecution in the federal court compared to the state
It's like
system?
98% or something
That's
insane.
So
okay,
when you
that's
have a court
bad.
system
Yeah,
with
it's absolutely maddening.
That's not
98% conviction rate,
Yeah.
generally speaking, from the developed world, you are talking about a totalitarian regime.
Yeah, that's
if you want
crazy.
to get conviction
Mhm.
rates that high, you're looking at like North Korea.
right.
Yet we have that in the federal courts, which
That's
is
scary.
insanely high.
So, Scott, somebody asked earlier in the chat, if you were to become an attorney, would you be if you were going to be in the public sector, would you do prosecution or defense?
Defense.
Absolutely.
We love that.
Well, that's it. My next question is why do you love the police so much, and why do you believe everything they say?
Great question.
Oh, it's terrible.
I used to actually do a lot of ride-alongs. I went through a Citizens Police Academy and used to film for the police a little bit, flown some drones for them, done some metal detecting for them. I'm not anti-police, but man, there sure are. I don't know.
The more of these YouTube cases
they need to be watched. They need to be watched, is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-police. I think there needs to be transparency. They have a ton of power, and rarely does someone get power and not, abuse it in some way.
Right.
So I think that that watching the police is very important, both for them and for us.
100% agree with that statement.
Love that.
We have civilian oversight of the police here in the Detroit, anyways, in the city of Detroit. A friend of mine is one of the police commissioners, and he takes his job extremely seriously and really checks the police. One of the bigger issues that they're having right now with the Detroit police is this facial recognition software. They have hundreds of cameras throughout the city, and they use facial recognition to identify suspects and arrest people. Well, now the city is being sued for like the 6th time for a wrongful arrest because it was based entirely off of this AI generated facial recognition, and it turned out that they got the wrong person. But he tried to tell them, at the beginning, he's like, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't be doing this. But he was only one out of, I can't remember. I think there's 8 or 9 people on the civilian oversight thing. And now they just keep getting sued over and over and over, and they're not learning their lesson. So it's great to have like a watchdog on that, but they actually need to have some teeth. There should be some authority for this board that's overseeing the police to actually do something about it, not just complain or make recommendations.
Yeah, I think an important part is that courts should readily recognize that the protection a police officer has for performing something legal in the course of his duties disappears as soon as they do something that's illegal, and that they can be sued in a heartbeat civilly. I think that needs to be emphasized in a big way, that you can't just, my chief will have my back type thing.
Yeah, what you're talking about is government immunity, and the states have had a long history of government immunity, and they don't want to give that up. And that's the problem is that the government doesn't want
in their jobs, if they're doing what they're supposed to, but if they cross the line, it's gone. There's nothing. There's no protection. You and I wouldn't have protection if we crossed the line.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're not protected if they do something intentionally, but if they're doing something within the line of duty, they do get that government immunity, which I think is BS as well.
Ohio Pom Pom Mom says, ask RA about Martha.
Who's
about Martha?
Martha was
Are
from
we talking about Martha Stewart?
No.
Talking about that stupid line in Batman v Superman?
No, they're talking about the Melody Ferris case.
Oh.
Melody Ferris.
In Melody Ferris, that was the burn pile.
The lady that may or may not have killed her husband that people think her son did, but it probably was her. I guess she got convicted. Right?
In the burn pit, underneath the burn pit.
Like she dragged a 300-pound man to the burn pit, I guess, or something.
It's hard to believe that her husband was burned alive and then buried under the concrete pad without her knowing. That's the biggest thing that I have.
Oh, this one wasn't the buried under the pad one. This was just
the burn pile.
His body in the burn pile.
Yeah.
We followed this one live, and as they're testifying, it turns out the mom, who was the wife, the defendant, her boyfriend was on the stand testifying one day, and I'm talking, doing my commentary live, and he says something about being at Martha's house, and Martha's, they had firearms or whatever. And I said, I know where they're going to go. They're going to say that the defendant stole the gun from Martha from Martha Jane, who was a sweet old lady who had a 38 special. And the prosecutor never mentioned it. I'm like, oh, oops, I guess I was wrong. What I didn't know was that Martha Jane was watching our live stream that day. She was a witness, and she was sitting there watching us, and her gun had gone missing. And she said, I was watching court TV with the little man in the corner with the headphones, and when he said they stole the gun from Martha Jane, I knew my gun had been missing. And I knew that they had come and talked to her, but she never told them because they didn't ask the question. And she said, my conscience just got the worst of me. And I had to call the detective and say, hey, when he said my name, I knew I had to do something. And so she ended up testifying in court. My screenshot, like me in the corner, was submitted by the defense saying, is this the guy you were listening to? He goes by the name Recovery Addict, and he makes money on YouTube. And so I'm
Makes money on YouTube.
14 or something for the defense in that trial.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It was wild.
I had something similar. I was covering a local case, Megan Amirowitz, and so we're streaming, and we noticed this new person in chat. And as we're watching,
maybe later.
What's that? Oh, it comes out that it's the defendant's mother in our chat, and she's chatting away and all this stuff. And then I was like, oh, well, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to come on. We'd love to interview you and stuff.
That was.
And then I talked to her on the phone, and come to find out she's on the witness list.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh my God. No, you can't come on. You can't come on.
You cannot.
Yeah, I had no idea. So she ended up testifying the next day. I was like, when the case is done, you can come on and do an interview. And she did, actually. And her daughter came on later. But
I remember that.
So I was just like, oh, no, you can't. And they brought it up in court, too, that she had watched some of the trial on my channel, but that it didn't influence her testimony. I'm like, thank God. Nothing came of that. But, it's crazy that people find these our streams. They're not watching court TV. They're not watching, the local news stream of it. They're watching people with commentary, and they just happen to be in our chats.
Yeah, that's something that I try to be mindful of now. That they're we've got family members of defense and the victims that are watching us at all times.
Right. Yeah, Pixie remembers. Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, Megan's mom was lovely. She was the great.
She really was.
And I don't think she knew, or nobody told her. I think she was a witness for the defense, and the defense didn't tell her hey, you can't. I think the defense probably told her you can't be in the court, watching the trial from the courtroom until we call you, trying to explain sequestration to her, but they had no knowledge.
I'll watch on YouTube.
Yeah, they were completely oblivious. These attorneys were completely oblivious to the fact well, people do watch it online, they're going to be watching it. Maybe instruct your witnesses not to watch it online either.
So the judge in the Melody Ferris case was watching our channel as well. And we know this because he called us out in court. He's like, apparently there's a channel out there that's counting how many times I say,
About quit saying it.
And we found out through, I think it was his wife, that he thought it was funny. And I'm like, oh man, I probably
didn't Schrader also watch on live while we were Well, we were watching him on David's.
He was watching Recovery Act, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, he was watching Recovery Act.
Oh yeah, Nikki just brought it up. Yep.
By the way, free Zachariah Anderson.
There you
go. So I've heard recently, I guess, that your take on this case, or at least your former take or previous take, and I heard that you were going to give it another watch. How has that happened by chance?
I have not watched the whole case. I haven't watched pretty much any of it. As a full-time YouTuber, this is pretty much all I do, but I have put a lot of thought into it, and I think there was enough that happened. And just looking back at the case, and the way I described it, I think when Solomon was on our channel as well, I said there were so many times when this case reached the edge, the mistrial point, and somehow we crossed that cliff and should have fallen to our doom and ended in mistrial, and somehow we clawed our way back and continued to a verdict. and I don't feel good about the result for that reason. I don't know. I'm a little bit. I'm in the minority here. I'm outnumbered. I was okay.
My position has always been. My position on Zachary Anderson has always been is I don't know if he did it. I wasn't there. He could very well have done it, but the amount of evidence that they had against him is not enough to convict him. Period. End of story. We have no cell phone places him there. No cameras place him or his vehicle there. No witness place him there. He's got no DNA, no fingerprints at the crime scene. Nobody even sees a person going in and out. I mean, there's literally no evidence that places him there. So that's the biggest thing. So if we want to count, possibilities, sure. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible, but that's not the standard. It's not even close to the standard, right? Yeah. That was my biggest thing with
I just thought the trial was a farce.
I called it the Muppet Show at one point. Yeah. I started streaming the Muppet Show when they were on break. It was just
so corrupt and gross, and I didn't even have a side. I actually was kind of looking forward to him being guilty because I fell for the whole hype of long crimes, ex-boyfriend, stalker, murderer.
Oh yeah, they painted that.
Oh, they sure did. And I love drama, so I'm like, oh, cool, this will be good. And I started watching the trial, and I'm like, ooh, why are they getting away with this? And the whole dead emotion stuff, I couldn't. It was too much.
Okay, I have a question.
That part they played of me in the trial, I was literally saying, if I was the defense, what I'd say right now is, kick the prosecutor out of the courtroom. And I was getting a little upset about that in that moment. But
so this is a police department. Why is there's like a slide? Maybe it's like a sewer. That's how they escape. This is like a sewer. That's what
they all have those.
Isn't that where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live?
It is, Wendy. You're right.
Funny. It's the Shawshank Redemption set.
Yeah.
That movie's got to be in my top 3, by the way.
That's a great movie. It's okay to cry when you're watching that movie, by the way, Valhalla.
Well, thank you for allowing me.
Yeah, right. The defense attorney's building a police station.
Yeah, I know. The irony. Well, it was sent to me by Wendy. It was actually on my wish list. I wanted the police department. Yeah, because I wanted a police department behind me when when the off chance that I stream a trial or something.
I mean, I'm not anti-police. I wouldn't mind, dating one for, fun.
For fun.
I'm not going to marry him because I couldn't bring him home. My parents would kill me.
Yes, you will. You're definitely going to marry him.
He could be your 12th divorced husband.
I mean, I do need a husband between Zach. Like, I need a husband before Zach. So, and yeah. So I figure I've got another 2 marriages left in me.
For those
Wendy's
that don't
been married 24 times.
Yeah, Wendy gets married a lot. That's kind of.
I'm a romantic.
And we love her for it.
Yeah.
And y'all out there needing a green card, I got a gal.
Right? I'm looking.
Got more rings than who was it? Brady? Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So how many times you've been married there, Scott?
Just the one. And I married up is what I did. So I'm thrilled.
That's good.
All men should.
We don't always marry up. Sometimes we need that that test run, all right? We need to get that mistake out of the way, and then you can marry your best friend the second go.
He's only saying this, of course, because he's been married twice.
Hey, I did much better with my second one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can. If RA, I take you at your word that you married up. All 3 of us definitely married up.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Right.
It's the only way to do it. See, that's the problem with Wendy is she needs to marry up. You can't go really for that easy cop. You got to marry up.
I'm just going to use him for fun times.
Hey, how's your MLS lookalike boyfriend?
Oh, I couldn't get the woo-woos. I tried. No. He was really nice, but he went back. He quit his career and went back to college, which I admire. I think that's amazing. But I don't think he could travel with me. How is he going to? I don't want to pay for anybody,
The new degree being in underwater basket weaving really threw you off, huh?
He's not even done yet. He's still in no, it's English. And I'm like, okay, English teacher.
Wait. So there's an adult male that quits his career to get his degree in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You made the right choice.
Thank you.
Do any of you guys work in the field that you went to school in?
I do.
I never
went to
finished
law school.
college. I never finished college.
Actually, my undergrad is in
I did.
history, sociology, and then secondary education because I wanted that to fall back on if the law degree didn't work out.
Fuzzies, the warm fuzzy. Yeah.
Yeah, I did communications in school, but I did it because it required information like a mile wide and an inch deep. There was nothing I had to
Right?
know well.
Same.
But
Also,
now
I
here
couldn't
I
do
am.
math, so I was happy to do communication. But I had a pre-law emphasis in my major, and I did use that for when I went into the federal government. I did do federal contract law. So I did use my major.
There's a lot of money in that. There used to be. I guess now there isn't. They're
I
trimming those down.
was a high roller. I loved it. I mean, for a federal
Yep.
job, it felt like the income was
At
unlimited.
the moment, it's kind of a disappearing
It's a
field.
It's a doji thing nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not really the field you want to be going into. They're not necessarily hiring right away.
No, it was great back then, and it was I was right after I entered I was doing an internship as a student during before 9/11. And so, there's a lot of money being put into the feds at that time. So I got they hired me right out of college. Like I was the only person in my whole class that had like a full on career guaranteed, right? When literally the day I graduated was a Saturday. I started work on Monday. So I was like, and I had two kids to support. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'll take that job. And then I ended up loving it.
There's a little cave. I got a little rock I'm putting in front of a cave here. This thing's kind of cool. The prisoners are definitely getting out of this thing.
If you were to say, like, what percentage of your build are you done with? Where's everybody at?
About 85.
Wow.
You're building 2 sets tonight, right?
I do have another set that I can build. Yeah.
I would say I'm about 85% too. I've got one more bag left after this.
What do you think your
I'm on
percentage
my last
is?
bag of this set. That is a goat. That's my logo, isn't it?
Oh, is
Are
it?
you kidding me?
I'm building this.
Outstanding.
That's awesome.
Outstanding.
Hercules.
Yeah, that's the goal anyway.
That's amazing.
I'm never going to be able to take it apart.
Amazing.
If I have fingers at the end of tonight, this is.
That's cool. What is RA making? RA is making a goat. Valhalla's
Not
goat.
just a
David,
goat.
take over for me for a minute. I gotta
You're not
check
going
out
to
my
like
bed.
copyright strike me for using this.
Not even a little bit. Not even close. That
That's
is
cool.
Jasper. That is my buck. He is the big goat that has fathered all goats that I've produced. That's awesome.
It's I
That's
saw that.
very cool.
I've got to do this one. It's just I don't know.
That is really cool.
So the first half of the stream we'll do half of it, and then next stream we'll do the rest.
We have done some 2-parters before.
We have, yeah, people who build slow like John and Torin. Well, John brought a reasonable size set, just struggled a bit, and then Torin brought like what
Ginormous
Scott
set.
The Harry Potter master quote. Yeah.
It was like it was a Japanese castle. I don't remember what it's called.
But it was something like 4,000 pieces again.
It was huge.
Yeah. So no, that's awesome. That's very cool.
That's super cool.
I don't know where this thing goes. Oh yeah, this goes here. Okay.
I think it'll actually go faster once I get. I mean, now that I've got the edges done, there's a lot of white to use, and I've got 900. I think I should have enough white to fully do what I need to. Yeah, I should be good. But hey,
well,
Mrs.
let's
Ray,
hope
how you doing?
they gave you the right number of pieces, right?
They gave me 900 of each color, so I think that's enough.
Okay.
So well, now I want to know how this came about. Where did you order this from? It's from Lego. It's an actual
from Lego.
Order. Yeah, you order it right on Lego's website. You just upload an image.
That's amazing.
I thought about doing it with my logo a while ago, and then I just never did.
We did talk about this at some point, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You and I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to get the background, but I didn't like the pattern that Lego produced for me, so I ended up going with a third-party design because I thought it was a little more lifelike, if that's a better way to say it, just for the background I was doing in my setup.
Yep. I'm only doing the 4-color version. There is a 5th. You do get yellows as well. So if you're doing like a person's face, this works a lot better. But I'm just doing the.
There's a couple that I know that just got one done of their child and put it up in their room, like in the nursery.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Ooh, time to make the doors.
Hey,
That's
Nick, how
very
you doing, buddy?
Oh,
Star off
Nick.
cat.
Good morning. In Sweden, it is morning, I suppose. Yeah, it's like 5 a.m. there.
I have a stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time with Baker and Runkle and Just Jesus, I think.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
I think that's her name. I'm going to be upset now.
Well,
if I got
that
it
sounds
wrong.
really exciting.
Yeah, apparently Baker went and tied one on tonight with all of his friends, so tomorrow should be interesting.
That's going to be cute.
I really like Ian. He's the only one I know really with that bunch. But
You know,
Ian's
we were
good.
talking
I like
about your bomb story, right? Have you heard Ian's story with the pig eyes and death threat, or cow eyes and death threats?
I haven't.
What?
He has so he has a story about why you don't ever want to talk to the police. He did a video a number of years ago about pepper spray or whatever, and he was using cow eyes to demonstrate the effectiveness of pepper spray, and he got them from a butcher.
I was going to say, where you just got.
Yeah, he got them from a butcher and everything, but he was doing this, and so apparently that upset some person so much so that they actually sent him like a death threat.
I think you have Irish.
And he was like, I get weird comments all the time, but this is like specific enough and serious enough. I should probably report it. So he reports it to the police, and he doesn't hear back from them for, I don't know, some amount of time. And so he follows up and gets in touch with the detective, and the detective said, "Oh yeah, don't worry, we cleared you of all wrongdoing." He's like, "What do you mean me?" He's like, "I'm the one that received the threat." He's like, "Yeah, but we were just making sure that you weren't actually committing any animal abuse, and don't worry, you're off the hook." And so he's like, "That's why you don't talk to the police, because it doesn't matter if you think you're the victim or whatever, or if you're just trying to report like, hey, somebody's making a bomb, maybe you guys want to check it out. You could be the one that they start investigating." And so he uses that as an example. And I actually use that when I talk to some of my clients as an example of why sometimes you don't want to talk to the police. I have a case where I had a client that was in a Facebook fight with some neighbor. They're neighborhood groups. And so they don't like each other, and they're always arguing with each other on Facebook. And then she gets a call from the police and says, "Hey, your neighbor says that you tried to run him off the road and kill him with your car the other day. You want to come in and make a statement?" And she really wants to make a statement. She wants to say, "No, it wasn't me," but and explain all this stuff that's going on Facebook. And I said, "You send me the statement. Let me read it over." So she sent it to me. And I called her back, and I was like, "All right, so what you're telling me, what you want to tell the police, is that 1, you don't like this guy. 2, you're in an online open debate and argument with this guy, so everybody knows you don't like this guy. 3, on the date in question, you were in your vehicle and he was on foot in the neighborhood. 4, you drove by him, but you didn't try to run him off the road. You just stopped and yelled out the window and then peeled away really quickly, making a lot of noise with your car. So the only thing that the jury would have to infer is that you tried to kill him or hit him with your car. You're giving them every other piece of evidence that they would need to charge you with. That's what you want to do, right? So I'm like, assuming for the sake of argument she is 100% truthful. God came down and confirmed it all yourself.
Because that's usually how it goes.
Right. She's still going to get charged with a crime. So I'm like, you don't talk to the police. And then I throw the Runkle thing in there too, to re-emphasize it. But yeah, so that's a great story. So you could bring it up to him. Ask him about the cow eyes next time you talk to him.
I'm gonna have to now.
So when I talked to the police about the bomb, I was working at a metal building shop as a salesperson, and I'm sitting there at work a couple days later, and the BATF shows up. And a lady by the name of Sonia Everett, Agent Sonia Everett, flashes her badge and says, "I need to talk to Scott McIntyre." and my boss is like, "Can you explain why the BATF is out here to talk to you?" I said, "No idea." But it is exactly that. They came in and talked to me, and I had to tell the whole story again. At the end of it, they said, "Well, we decided not to prosecute you."
Out of control. Out of control.
Why me? And it's because I knew about the bomb before and hadn't reported it. Like the first bomb they had done, I hadn't called the police that one. They wanted to prosecute me as well.
Yep. You're aiding and abetting. You're obstructing justice. I had a recent case where I was representing witnesses in a criminal case. I didn't represent the defendant. I was representing witnesses that were being subpoenaed to testify at a trial. And they were concerned about testifying because it might incriminate them. And so I filed a motion to quash the subpoena under the Fifth Amendment. My clients don't have to be compelled to testify in that situation. And the prosecutor, at first I call him and I say, "Hey, my clients have some concerns and I do too about them testifying. So I'm thinking maybe they shouldn't. Would you release them from the subpoena before I file the motion?" He's like, well, what's the nature of the issue? I'm like, well, I can't really tell you. He's like, well, it sounds like obstruction of justice to me. Maybe there's another charge coming. And, that's what they do. They bump their chest and, they want to charge you with, obstruction or whatever when you're just trying to exercise your rights. And that's the thing that drives me nuts about the current policing and prosecuting in this society.
They are not building without instructions. David and Valhalla both are using apps on their iPads, and RA is using the good old written manual.
Look at this beautiful, wonderful
Check this
app.
out. This is really cool, you guys. If you don't have this app already, check it out. Is it just a Lego app? Like it's Lego app?
It's Lego. Lego build. It's a Lego brand, and then you type in the build number, like each one of these boxes. Like this number here, it's 60419. You type that in, and then it brings it up, and then it takes you step by step. But you can look at it all and make sure you have it. You can zoom in and out, and make sure you're putting the pieces in the right spot. So now I'm on this, and it says exactly where to put the sticker, and then it'll tell me exactly where to put it.
Oh, I like that. It has the arrows.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Right? That is awesome.
This thing's pretty neat.
They're so cheating. Ivermectin is so cheating.
I've been doing this for the last year and a half. I've been telling Valhalla too. I'm like, you need to get this app, man. It'll make your life so much easier.
So you guys both get the app to build quickly the day I come on with 4,000.
It's not a competition, though. It's
Right.
not a competition.
Remember Carrie Morrison threatening Eric Huntley? No, I don't. Half Irish.
MLS, I've got to ask
go?
you. Do you know Shannon, the lawyer?
Not personally, but we've corresponded. I know her from a prior trial. Just talking with her about it, and then we've corresponded regarding Jennifer.
I know with
But
the cases she takes and specializes in, a lot of people love to hate her. But we really wanted to interview her, and we almost had it lined up, but because
she won't do interviews right now.
Yeah, she couldn't because of a couple issues. But
And if you posted a question for Scott or our hosts tonight, could you please repost it for me? I've got a bunch of kids over right now, so I've had to take a couple breaks to check on them. So I apologize. It helps if you do, especially when there's 300, 250 in the chat. If you do a question mark, that'd be great. I am really closely paying attention when
The
but
red question mark.
Yeah, that. Thanks.
You guys be specific. Yeah.
Thank you, friends. Yeah,
Um,
sorry, Donna Shepard, if I missed it earlier.
Oh no.
Yeah, Shannon's not giving interviews right now because of the appellate issues, which I completely understand. But
I wanted to apologize to her in person because we were counting how many times she says sorry during that trial, and then she called us out during the close.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Which trial was that?
I wasn't necessarily the nicest to her during my coverage either. But
during the Crumbly parent.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer Crumbly's attorney.
Yeah.
The Taylor Swift thing. The Taylor Swift thing hit me. It was just
Wait,
like
she said something about Taylor Swift.
She started her opening statement with, "I was driving to court today and I heard a Taylor Swift song."
Oh,
I quoted it. Yeah, remember? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I liked her approach, but she was controversial. CW.
It was
asked,
very. Oh, sorry.
What is your favorite trial that you've ever covered? And I think they asked that at the beginning, and I'm sorry. Oh, look at your Taylor Swift.
Is it signed?
No, I wish. Is it signed?
I wanted to get that for my grandson. They had Joanne's was closing out, and they had that book at the Joanne.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's really
Look
awesome.
It's got barbed wire. Look at this. There's like
That's-
Oh, that's
barbed wire.
cool.
Yeah, I dropped it. I dropped one of these though. I've got to find the other one.
Nice.
Dropped like 50 pieces so far.
Valkyrie says, "My bad. Was that a gift from your wife?"
I think that was another one from Expert, actually.
Oh, cute.
I think so. He buys me a lot of.
All
awesome
right, so
things.
favorite trial. We can't remember the.
Oh man, favorite trial. I told you I have this amnesia thing, right?
All three of you should answer that, by the way. I want to hear Scott.
Let's see. I like good courtroom drama. I like good lawyers arguing passionately for their sides. So I like that. I'll have to say the Maya trial for that was a lot of fun. Just because you had big money on one side, a whole bunch of big legal team, underdog on the other. It was a civil trial, but I love that one. And I also got to go down. First of all, that's another one that I got included in the court papers on because apparently that's what happens. But but I got to go down and actually sit in the courtroom, and it's one of the few courts that I've covered and been able to be in the courtroom for. And it's just so different to watch all the people come in and be like, I've watched you, over the computer through the screen all this time. And then, Judge Carroll walks in and the bailiff's calling everyone to order. And, it's me that if I don't shut up, I'm getting kicked out. It was really neat, that moment.
That'd be pretty neat.
Somebody asked earlier, Scott, how much are the custom kits? And then somebody in chat said the custom Lego kit Scott is doing runs about 70 to 100, depending on how many.
I got it on the 70 side, I think. 79,
Nice.
I think.
Excellent.
From Lego directly.
Nick Starro says, controversial take according to X account. You can believe a suspect is guilty as hell and still hold the prosecution accountable for SHIT, investigations and comedically bad evidence.
Sorry, I was looking up.
Hey, Nick.
David, Valhalla, what was your favorite trial you've ever covered or that you've been into?
Well, remember now, I don't generally cover trials.
True, but you have really been involved with
I have,
Reed
though.
and Turtle Boy stuff, and well, I guess that's
me and
technically
Baker-
the same case.
Baker and I are covering the Karen Reed stuff, and
Yeah.
that's been a lot of fun. That's been a
Nice.
whole lot of fun. We've been doing these panel shows, and RA, you're gonna have to come on with us at some point. I think the Karen Armstrong case was the one case that I kind of did solo with
remember that.
McKinley, and that was interesting for that reason. Oh, that's not true. I did the Elijah McLean case too. I guess I have covered a few.
The EMS one, right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I have covered a few cases.
Yeah, you have. What about you, David? What's your favorite?
I don't know.
I covered the Karen Armstrong case with you, didn't I?
Yeah, I was waiting for you
Yeah.
to get that.
You seem
bad.
very invested in the Crumblies.
Yeah, that was the most invested case because the whole reason why I started streaming live is when they got charged. So my YouTube channel had been around since 2017, and when they got charged, I started going live when I was covering their preliminary examination. So that's the whole reason I was ever streaming live is that case. So I'll say that one.
We loved watching Travis Rudolph with you, though. Everyone's talking about that.
Travis Rudolph was a good case. That was a good outcome.
1,000%.
Yeah, that was a good case.
And thank you, McRae H, for the $5.
There were so many good cases.
I'm
even thinking Ronald Ribberer, the Border Patrol murder case, even though that was about a death of a child.
That dude, he
but
was nuts.
because the child was wearing a Baby Yoda shirt when it was killed, and they kept saying Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda. And then one day I noticed the prosecutor was wearing a Baby Yoda tie tack, and I said, "That's not right."
No.
And so I actually called the court on that as an officer of the court, even though it wasn't in my jurisdiction. I felt like this isn't right, so I called the court, and in between witnesses, the judge made the prosecutor take it off. And the very next witness was someone introducing the Baby Yoda T-shirt, and I said that's why he was wearing that. And I was very happy that I was able to. I don't like to wasn't necessarily hoping to interfere with cases, but that's one that, as an officer of the court, I felt was appropriate to actually say something, and so. That one, for that reason, was interesting to me. The story was horrible, but it was an interesting case for that. Ooh, look at this. All right, so I got two sides. Both sides are adjoined now, Wendy. Look at that. And I got my little helicopter here.
Aww.
I got my boats. I got to get my boats. It's almost. I got a little bit more to do, I think. I still got another bag. And I got a shark. Because you got to have a shark to roll it.
Oh, wait, we're going to get
It's getting there.
Very good, David. Love.
Whitmer kidnapping was also
at 95% now, yeah?
I got one more bag.
That's not very much more.
I'm going to go get another beer, though. I'll be right back.
All right, you get your beer. McRae H for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Reed Mile Trial. What's up with the lawyer team breakup? Anyone want to answer that?
That is sad.
Wait, what lawyer team?
That is a sad situation. Nick Whitney and Mr. Anderson, they were the dynamic duo that defended Maya, or that represented Maya, and together they secured that massive amount verdict, and things went south afterwards. It was a disagreement. Nick
money.
Nick ended up getting fired. I think it was a disagreement over how the money was being spent. I think I tried not to get in the middle of it because I've met both of them and they're amazing. I like them. I just that was a case that I know I met Maya. I met the family. I stayed in the doctor who was testified, the key witness. I stayed in his condo.
Oh wow!
It's so it's sad. I hope it gets all worked out and everything. But yeah, money causes problems.
Money
always causes problems.
I've never had any.
That's one of the problems.
Yeah.
Money doesn't cause problems. It's the fact that no matter how poor or rich you are, you're going to be the same person. So just jerky people cause problems.
Oh.
That's my
Did you I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you grab your extra beverage there, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, I need a couple minutes. I have a dying battery on my instruction manual, and that's going to be a problem if I don't fix it. So,
I can catch
excuse me for just a minute.
I have a dedicated charging cable that stays out here all the time.
We've had a couple questions. Let's see. CW asks, what verdicts have you disagreed with the most?
Zachariah Anderson.
What about you, RA?
There was the Tatiana Jefferson killing, the police officer that went in the backyard and shot through the window and shot the homeowner.
Was she acquitted?
No, he was convicted.
Or he?
Oh, I was thinking to that female cop that tried to pull the taser and pulled the gun. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, this one he shows up. He's on a call that it was called in. Okay, there's this house open in the middle of the night. Concerned, can you go check it out? He shows up, and he went in the backyard just to see if there was anything wrong there. And while he's in the backyard, he looks through the window, and of course the homeowner hears something in the backyard, and she's reaching into her purse to pull a gun. He looks in the window, sees somebody pulling a gun, and shoots and kills her. And it was.
I remember that.
I struggled with that one. I think it was Aaron Dean.
Yeah.
Name?
Guy Vermectin said Aaron Dean. Yeah.
Yeah. That one I struggled with. I'm just like, look, I realize there's no winners, right? In this one, but
I'll be back in about 5 minutes, y'all.
Okay, babe.
I did not see at all in that case a cop that was just, power hungry, looking to, blast anyone they could. But,
so do you think, given that exact scenario with a non-cop, do you think that person would get convicted or not? Is there proper self-defense there? If this is not a police officer shooting through a window at somebody inside a house that may or may not be pulling a gun, does that person get convicted? And part two of this question is, should it matter that it's a cop or not? Should they be treated differently?
I'll say this. I think had she drawn faster and fired first, I don't think she should be convicted. I don't think she would that she would be convicted, that she was in the right to do what she did. But I also think that he was, basically also in the right, trying to secure a property and following up on a call, responding as our.
Why? Can you remind me why he was looking in through her window? I forgot.
He got a call.
She had called the police.
The neighbor had called.
Right?
Neighbor across the street called and said, "My neighbor's house is open. It's middle of the night. I'm worried there's something."
Right.
The cop shows up, and he doesn't really do a whole big investigation in the front. He's looking around outside instead, and ends up going through the carport. Opens the gate, goes in the backyard, is next to the house, poking around, and he sees in the window in a darkened room her reaching into the purse, and she pulls a gun and he shoots her. And
so he sees a gun. That's in his brain. He's seeing danger. He's seen a gun. Yeah. That's a tough one. That's why I forgot what the name of the people, but the one where the woman killed the old man. When she was like chasing, he was like a whatever deranged driver, whatever you call it, like road rage. It was a road rage case, and then everyone's like, "Oh,
did I stream that one?"
Yeah,
is that down in Georgia?
Yeah,
I don't recall. Yeah, but
I remember watching the trial.
That one was hard for me too, because I felt like I was so against her for a long time, because I thought you had no right, you had no business going into some dude's car, like ew. But then when anyway, it's hard when it's not so clear cut sometimes for me, because I'm a Libra, so I always see both sides. So it's hard for me. Somebody asked, Guyver Mecton asks, what do you think of the Koberger case? Did he do it?
Oh my goodness.
He's not been convicted.
Yeah, let's give him his day's court. But that is a fact.
What do you think so far of that, Scott?
We followed that. We were following the police and helped locate the plane while he was being transported back from Pennsylvania to Idaho. So we were part of that crew that was using the flight radar and located them and said, "Oh, here he is. This is where they are. This is the plane." It's a fascinating case, because if it was him, it looks like this is the first time he committed a murder. If it was him, and
isn't that fascinating?
How many people for their first murder go for 4?
Right?
It's like it's not your standard case.
No.
When he was first arrested, he said something to the effect of who else has been arrested or how many others have been arrested or something like that. And now we've got information that's come out that there's multiple DNA samples underneath fingernails of one of the victims. It's like we don't have any other evidence that there was somebody else, but at the same time, some of the evidence is pointing out that there might have been other people.
And also, how does one guy on his first attempt do all that damage? It doesn't seem possible. But
here's my biggest problem with it is based off of the police theory, at least at the time of the arrest and the probable cause hearing. They have a vehicle that they believe is his traveling down a road that's time stamped on a camera, which gives him 14 minutes to travel a quarter of a mile, park, get out, dodge the food delivery guy, whatever he was, Grubhub or whatever it was,
Yeah.
Get in there, kill 4 people, not have any blood trailing out behind him, get in his vehicle, and be a half a mile down the road again in 14 minutes.
Yeah, it reminded me of
That
Zachariah Anderson. How there was
timeline is the biggest issue that I have.
It's going to be interesting. I think in that
Right?
case, we need to see some of the data. And the judge recently made a decision that basically said you can't seal everything. Okay, if you're going to file stuff, the public has a right to see it. And so I think as more information comes out, first of all, the grand jury stuff is always wrong, right? I don't know why, but it's always the initial story they run with and get a they take to the grand jury. Yeah, is almost always like, well, you were completely wrong about that, or that was a lie, or that was fabrication. But that's just the way it works. And I think that we've had just that information for so long. I can't wait for the actual data. I want the actual footage. I want to do the timestamps. I want to spell things out on the map and work with the details. Get Brandy Churchwell to make a chart on it. And it's
right. Our girl Brandy.
Are you friends with Brandy?
Oh, they love each other.
Yeah.
Brandy's been on this channel like 4 or 5 times. She's been doing Lego.
I love Brandy. I love her to death.
Adore her.
She, I saw her on Twitter before she was on YouTube, and I was trying to get her to come on the channel, and she would ghost me completely, just like ignore me.
Hey, she blocked David.
And she finally put the YouTube channel, and I said, everybody go to your channel, subscribe. We had a lot of people on at that time. And I said, everyone go over there, subscribe, and say, please come to RA, please come to RA. And so when they did, she's like, oh, wow. And she came over, and she came on twice in one day. Like she made a nice. She went off, she came back again. And she's just amazing. Love what she does. She's fantastic.
Right?
So awesome. I was first told about her, and I was in her chat, and I can't remember. I think, so at the time, Nick Staroff and I were streaming Jodi Arias, and so was she with somebody else. And so I was in her chat talking about Jodi Arias, and then all of a sudden I got blocked. And so there was like this whole drama thing about her blocking me. And I never okay, it's fine, whatever, if somebody doesn't want me in their chat, that's their prerogative. Never thought anything about it. And then months later, I got a message from her on X that said, hey, I just found out that you actually were blocked. And I didn't do it. One of my mods did it and whatever. And then ever since then, we've been good friends. So
she might be coming to Dollywood.
Really?
Coming to Dollywood. Yeah.
Well, now I might go to
right now we might have to go, David.
I'm gonna just go crash it. Show up just to see Brandy.
How does it connect there?
So do you stream a lot with her, or you guys just chit chat?
We've done a couple things together. She dives in deeper than I do. I'm more of the gavel to gavel, and she loves to tear things apart and analyze.
She goes deep.
Yeah,
so super deep. And she's got her podcast now and a book, and apparently
got like over 2 million listens on her podcast.
And she's got a Netflix. She's got a Netflix thing going on too.
That's awesome.
Justin Smith
she's hitting all the right buttons.
She's doing great. You still didn't finish watching Jodi. Is that to RA? Because we did. Did you finish watching?
I saw enough.
The whole world saw enough.
By the way, so this is Jodi's art.
Yeah.
Here she does art in prison, and these are her legs.
Is that
someone ordered it and sent it to me? Oh. It's I got a card. Yeah, I got it.
So that one actually might be signed.
I got a card with her signature, and like a little thank you note for ordering her art.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's weird.
Super weird.
No me gusto that.
No me gusto.
How long have we been gone? Oh my goodness.
2.5
We
hours.
have been going for 2.5 hours.
I'm a third of the
Justin
way
Smith
done.
said David finished it almost, Justin.
Almost. I'm still working. I'm still building here.
David, I don't remember him finishing either. No, he's still working on it.
Wait, what?
David sent one to Dally. Did you really, David?
Yep.
Aww,
yeah, I ordered one. No, I didn't. No, I lie. I did not. I sent it to him, but I didn't purchase it. Someone sent it to me to send to him.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah, because they didn't know.
CW asks, who would be your dream legal team?
Johnny Cochran. If I was a criminal defense attorney or criminal
Isn't
defendant.
he dead?
He's not alive anymore. That doesn't count.
I think he.
It's a dream. It's
a
dream.
Okay. All right.
I would rather not have the dead guy representing me in a criminal
I'm just
defense
saying,
trial.
same.
If I'm being
I'm just
honest.
gonna wheel the dead body out and park it in the courtroom, and I'll get acquitted.
I mean, if we're going for dead people, I want Frankenstein's monster.
I think Camille Vasquez would have to be on my dream team.
Oh, she's good.
Yeah, she is good and good.
My favorite person is Leslie Abrams or whatever, the woman that represented the Menendez brothers. She was a badass.
Right. But they were convicted.
Only the second time that it wasn't her fault. The judge just the judge wasn't fair and didn't admit anything that would have given them less than first degree.
I'm actually quite impressed with Alessi in this whole shabacle too so far. Obviously, we haven't seen him in trial yet, but I'm pretty impressed with his gusto.
So the attorney. So if we're going to talk about living people, then the attorney that represented YSL, he was really good. The one that went to prison for a bit.
Taking off his tie and his shoes in court. It's like, lock me up.
Yeah.
That was a boss who
liked
said,
it.
okay, at least can you at least incarcerate me with my client so we can get some work done?
Right.
I think I would choose Daryl Brooks. That'll be my guy. That's my dream.
Daryl Brooks.
Yeah.
Bettero is phenomenal. Have you met him by chance, Scott?
I have not. I've not. I just follow him on
I've
Twitter.
been privileged enough to stream with him a few times. That man is he's a delight. I really enjoy Mark.
A little disappointed. I would have loved to see him join the team.
Oh, absolutely.
See what happens.
Is he not?
Judge ruled.
No, he got denied.
Yeah, because of a conflict based on the judge. Because of the Turtle Boy situation.
Yeah.
I think that should actually be an interlocutory appeal though too, because right of counsel should be an interlocutory appeal. You can't put that toothpaste back in the tube once the trial is done. So that's going to be an interlocutory appeal, I would imagine.
She cited the amount of ad hoc vice representatives on the team already as part of it as well.
Well, still, it's an interlocutory appeal. I would file an appeal on that right now. Absolutely. She is. She's probably one of the worst judges that I've seen, next to the YSL. So if I'm going to go in order, I would say like YSL, her, and then Schroeder. Yeah,
Schroeder's bad.
I would go sort of in that order.
I have to say this is what I like about Schroeder, other than the fact that he played us in court. You always know what he's thinking.
Yeah,
that's not opening his mouth.
So I'm going through and I'm doing a documentary about the Zachariah Anderson case, and I've been making clips of various parts of the testimony. When I'm doing that, I have to sit through so much of his rambling. It is ridiculous and mind-numbing because I'm like, oh my God, let's just get past this so we can get on to the next question because that's what I need to clip.
And he turns and he like talks it over with the jury. He's
Yeah,
like, the jury shouldn't be here. Okay, don't.
Yeah.
Why is the jury your go-to? Let's talk this over together.
CW.
Jennifer.
Oh, go ahead, babe.
Jennifer. Who was the Daryl Brooks? Jennifer Doe, whatever. She was pretty. She was pretty terrible.
The prosecutor.
Oh, the prosecutor.
No. The judge. Just the way
Judge
she had to overstate every single thing that she was doing.
Really annoying.
I'm no mo gusto her.
But she wasn't making bad decisions. She was just really annoying. So that's why I didn't put her in that group.
Well, and that's a
I
great
am done, by the
segue
way.
to Valhalla. CW says, what about favorite judges, everyone?
I like Carroll from the Maya case, Judge Carroll. His ability to recall details from arguments 6 months before, his ability to reset when because he got angry a couple times. His ability to reset and not hold it against the two sides. I think he's fair. I think he makes good decisions. I think he's stellar. He's my hero.
I'm not
Anyone
sure I
else?
remember him.
I'm gonna go out and say Judge Valentine in the Oakland County Circuit Court that handled the Megan Amirowitz case,
Mm-hmm.
and that I may or may not be arguing in front of next week is the best judge.
We love that judge so much.
She
Always
is
working.
the best judge that I've ever had the privilege of practicing.
She's amazing.
Always working. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Jose Baez, yeah. Jose did Casey right. You can't be mad at that.
That chick. Oh my God, go away
I mean,
already.
Somebody.
Not about her,
Nick says
but her
the
attorney.
judge in the CNN defamation trial was very entertaining. I don't remember that judge.
Oh, I love Letitia Stauch's judge. I forgot about him.
Letitia
Plus he was
Stauch.
hot. His sexy voice was nice.
He has the best definition for evidence for circumstantial
Kinda
evidence.
reasonable
The
doubt.
best circumstantial evidence versus non-circumstantial. His story of how he tells that to the jury was the best. I think he was the one that did the cookie jar and my son. I just find crumbs on his face.
Oh yeah.
I liked
All
him.
right, so
He was
I am
level-headed.
done. Here's my island prison. I don't want to pick it up, so
I'm done too.
Sorry.
So I got my little boat, and I got my
Aw.
prisoners, and then they have their little tube that they're going to slide down and escape
Cute.
through, which happens to be right in the, which is funny. So their escape route is right here, in the basketball court. So, and then there's a holding cell with their bunks. There's a map underneath and a gangway down in here.
Love
that
it.
the little cart fly out. It seems very cool.
That's really cool. It's almost like a dollhouse.
It is like a dollhouse. I'm gonna
It
put
is.
in
I
the
love
dollhouse
that.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Judge
I
Warner
think
was Letitia Stauch. Yeah, loved him. Right?
It's an
Lauren?
action figure house, Wendy. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I forget. Oh my gosh, so funny. So I had my two older kids are only they're like Irish twins. They're like 14 months apart or something. And so my daughter liked Barbies and my son liked Beast Wars and different kind of those things. So I said something to him about his Barbies one time, his dolls, or I don't know what I called it. He goes, "Mama," and he had this deep voice, "Mom, those are action figures." I'm like, "Sorry."
This is serious business, Wendy.
I know. I was the worst mom.
I don't know. I like my dolls.
Right?
You would.
Mm-hmm.
This is not lining up well. The goat is going to look different than your goat.
It totally, now that I know what it is, especially, I'm like, I could see it coming together.
It's starting to.
It's looking
It's
like
pretty
a
awesome.
real, like a real.
Did I ever
boy.
tell you, Valhalla, that you and I were meant to connect in this world?
I believe that.
My when I was doing Civil War reenacting, my reenacting name was Jasper.
I think you did
we
tell me
both
that.
We both have. Yours is
Lancelot.
a donkey. Yeah, Lancelot. My horse is named Lance. Sir
I have a
Lancelot.
donkey named
Valhalla's
Lance.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Meant to be.
Actually,
You think
that's
you're
not.
cool.
That's a kind of neat little story, right? It was just a freak thing. Me and Dave were kind of floating around YouTube in the same case or something, right? We were looking at the same thing and ended up having a phone call one day. Talked for like an hour and a half. I was walking around my goat.
I love a good romance story.
That was that might have been Caitlin Armstrong we were talking about, I think. Possibly.
I can't remember. No, this was early on. That was before Caitlin, I think.
David,
But,
people are asking what the name of your. Can you show your box and then your set, please?
Oh yeah, it is Police Prison Island is what it's called. and it's a very cool set. I saw it and I put it in my little wish list, and then Wendy went and got it for me. Thank you, Wendy.
For Christmas. You are very welcome.
Christmas. Yeah. So I've been trying to look for. I when I was a kid, I loved the city ones. So I've been trying to look for, police department, fire stations, things like that. And this one's very cool. So I'm going to do a whole cityscape. Right now, it's like mostly Harry Potter stuff. But I'm going to try to change it up a bit and do some cityscape over here.
That's funny you said that, because CMB was just at the Lego store yesterday and was going to get the one you have. Instead, got the Harry Potter Diagon Alley.
Oh, Diagon Alley. I saw that today at the Lego store. Actually, I went by the Lego store today. And I saw Diagon Alley. And then actually, I saw a couple of Star Wars ones that I'm going to get, I think, next.
Ooh, is there a Snake Island build? Good question, Half Irish.
Case should have gotten more attention, CW is asking. Which case should have gotten more attention? Well, there's some cases that I feel like should have been streamed. The cyclist that was unalived down in Texas by the boyfriend's ex-girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
That one I feel like should have been streamed. So it should have gotten more attention because it should have been streamed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's other cases I feel like should be streamed and weren't.
I said that was Caitlin Armstrong, right? That was the case.
Caitlin Armstrong, yeah, thank you.
I said Karen Reed earlier. I misspoke.
Yeah. So I think that case should have been live streamed because of the nature of the publicity around it.
Yeah, Valhalla did that one. I thought you did.
Yeah, we did that together.
Yeah, we did. We had somebody in court actually giving us
I forgot
notes,
about that.
and then we would go.
That was how we met McKinley, because McKinley was working in that courthouse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Blaze.
Now it's all coming together.
And there was another question right above that one. Deanna, ask RA what his thoughts are of the judge on George Allen Kelly's trial.
Oh, George Allen Kelly. That's the Texas rancher. That
was a good outcome.
I did like that one. Although I think the judge sort of didn't like having to rule the way he did. But
no,
that was an acquittal. And I believe dropped with dismissed with prejudice, right?
Yep. Yeah. And that should have been an acquittal, because much like some of these cases we see too, where some cases you're like, all right, it's a question of fact, it's interpretation, it's up to the jury to question the credibility of the witnesses. Then there's other cases that are like, this is just not even enough evidence to go to trial, and that was one of those where there's just not even enough evidence to go to trial. There was another case too that Nick Staroff covered. Can't remember the name of it, where guy was being accused of unaliving his stepdaughter from like 20 years ago. And there's literally no evidence, and the judge ended up doing a directed verdict. And I'm like, that was a good call. We need more judges like that. And as much as I cannot stand Alec Baldwin, when the prosecutor pulls tricks like they did in that case, it should be an acquittal, right? And so there's a lot of good judges out there, but they're the cases that should be dismissed are few and far between.
Karen Reed.
Yeah, exactly. Like Karen Reed. The judges that are like, well, let's just let the jury decide, let's just let them hear it and figure it out. No, that's not what your job is. Your job is supposed to decide whether or not there's even enough to take it to the jury. That's your job. That's like the one of three things that you're supposed to be doing. And judges that don't want to do their job drive me nuts. Attorney, that's the case.
There you go. MLS.
That was a rare one.
Yeah, that was.
A rare one.
I feel like that's
the directed verdict.
To see history being made.
It was pretty
MLS,
cool.
if you told Recovery Addict about the credit cards in Rosalio's freezer. This is from the Zach.
No,
Yeah, the Zachariah Anderson. I don't know how much, because you said you didn't watch the trial, but
I did.
if you remember, or maybe you don't know,
Damn, Runs.
when the police released the apartment,
Mhm.
back to
Scene.
Rosalio's mother,
Rosalio.
and Rosalio, thank you. So his mom went in and started cleaning things up, and in the freezer they found a wallet with credit cards and things like that. And so at trial, they tried to say that Zach put the wallet and phone and credit cards and stuff in there. The credit cards were not his. They didn't have his name on it. They had two other people's names on them, and then they had other things like a Costco card or something like that with someone else's name on it. And none of that was brought up in trial. The fact, so the prosecutor used the fact that there were credit cards in the freezer to try to say that Zach put his wallet in the freezer for some reason. That none of that made sense to me. And then
It was Rosalio's wallet.
Yes.
No,
they
it
said
wasn't. Well,
they
said it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it had other people's credit cards in there. It wasn't his credit cards. It wasn't like his mom's credit cards. It was some random people's credit cards. I can't remember their names. I have the images with their of those cards. So it's things like that when the prosecutor bring up things and make the implication without disclosing all of the facts. They know that it's not his cards. They can see the names on them.
Man.
But they portrayed it as his.
They portrayed it as his, and that Zach was hiding his wallet for some reason.
And everyone, a couple of people are saying mailboxes, mailboxes, mailboxes. David, what's that about? Is that from Zach?
Yes. I'm not sure the connection because Long Kong won't ever answer me.
Come on,
actually, no, we need to connect. No. It's I said, hey, we need to talk about these mailbox things because I really want to understand what you're trying to say, and then we never connected. I got busy.
I'm going to blame you. It's probably your fault.
Anne had DNA from an unknown male on the credit cards. Yes. Yeah, DNA from an unknown male was on the credit cards.
Well, we think we know who that unknown male was. I still think it was that dude that testified in the court, but whatever.
Well, I don't know if it was him.
I don't know if it was him, but he was so sketch.
I mean, the thing is that there's just as much evidence to say that it was him as there is to say that it was Zach.
Right.
You know, motive,
something about the blood on the mailbox
carpet.
And by the way, how does
no one saw the blood on the mailbox?
How does a 200-pound dude at his heaviest pick up a 300-pound dude? I still don't get that.
Yeah, he's got a back issue. I was gonna try to drag around Nick Starr off.
They get lighter when you roll them in carpet, right?
I guess so. I guess when they're full of blood and the carpet's bloody, it makes them lighter. He was sketched.
But that was one of those situations where the police wanted an easy answer. They found an easy answer and they ran with it.
Okay, here we go. The prosecution claims that Zach hid under the stairs beside the mailboxes, but never showed pictures of how that looked. Oh, okay. Oh,
I have a whole video walkthrough because I actually went out there and I went to the apartments and I walked through them.
You did.
I did, and I took videos the whole time. There's no way you were hiding under that stairwell.
Yeah,
there's no way to hide under that.
Yep. And by the way, the blood they found on his in his door, like there's zero. By the way, there's literally zero DNA that Zach left in the apartment. So, like, no touch, nothing. Like, that's weird too.
Let me see here.
Shady Sadie was sketch.
Oh, the other videos are on my hard drive, which I don't have plugged in right now. That is it's in the house. But yeah, so I did a walkthrough of the apartments.
Yeah, it was an open staircase and the mailboxes were less than a feet from the door. Doing great, RA. Pause and Campfire says.
Yeah, I've got.
Are you done, Valhalla?
No, I'm still farting around. I just dropped a piece off of this and I can't figure out where it came from.
He's stalling to make me feel better.
Like I said, I've got another set.
I miss Solomon too. Where's Solomon been? Does anyone know?
I've been messaging him. He's out doing his thing.
Yeah, he pops up.
I've seen him in like the the like Facebook and stuff like that for updates on the case.
Well, I've seen him on X, and we chit chat.
Nice.
I've been working on stuff, so him and I talk.
And the mailboxes and door and blood stains on them, and somehow in the height of COVID, nobody noticed it for 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe no one was leaving
I
their
noticed
house.
a lot of stuff there. Nobody noticed a lot of things there.
I agree, just yours. That messy van alone should have caused reasonable doubt. Not to mention the lady that Zachariah worked for, testified in court at the very beginning of the trial that she saw the cut piece of it. He had already cut out the van carpet. Like it had been cut out long before because he was using it for work stuff. It was just so many things. Martha Ivy says, Ari, you are doing great.
I pay them.
Right? I tell people David and Valhalla pay me so much money. That's why I stick around.
She's lying to y'all.
I get the big bucks, yo.
Yeah, no, I don't have them.
We bought her cookies for Christmas. But
and
yeah, we did.
Beef sticks and cheese for like a whole year.
It was French. It was French.
It was very French.
Cheese.
Macaroons. Or
Yeah, we
macaron.
got you macaroons.
One of them's, I don't know the difference between macaroon and macaron. One is like creamy, one is less crunchy, one is more chewy.
What is happening?
You should
here?
see the
Oh,
text
my
messages between Valhalla and I when we were deciding on what to order and send to you.
Was it funny?
We were just going back and forth. We were like debating. We had these ideas. I was calling places, and then I was getting like the runaround from a bunch of local places, and nobody wanted like nobody wanted to work. No one wanted to put basket of stuff together as a Christmas. Yeah, it was like, well, it's California, I guess. And it was like I'm calling there at like 2 p.m. California time, and nobody's answering the phones. Nobody's like, all right, whatever. We're just gonna order it from like somewhere out east and ship it out there.
It was great. I loved it. Well, it was cool because everything came in sections. So it was like I had like a 10-day Christmas. I was so excited. It was so fun.
Wasn't seen until the 19th.
Well, plus when you're like
this
a
is
mom,
ridiculous.
and now I'm a grandma.
Locon, can you DM me on X with what you're saying in chat, just so I can incorporate that?
Yeah, there you go. That one. Well, I had a great Christmas. Pixie, I was thinking that too. I'm like, they did really good, especially like I have so many weird, like, idiosyncrasies, and I have like all these diet restrictions. It's funny. I loved it.
Well, I was basing it mainly off of, Valhalla suggestions, which I agree. Go French. But then also like the conversations you and I had when we were driving to and from Dollywood.
Yeah. Yep. I could live off a beef stick and a cheese stick. Those are my favorite food groups. So
and then we had to get you the cookies.
Yeah, those are
they're
cute.
called macaroons.
I didn't want anyone touching them because they were so pretty.
You got to eat them. It's like Girl Scout cookies. There's 2 boxes of Girl Scout cookies nobody wants to eat because then once they eat them, then we're all out of Girl Scout cookies.
Right?
I can relate to that. I've got one left on the shelf. I've got one box left on the shelf, and I'm waiting until. Oh, Samoas.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Gross.
The mother-in-law is sending me
Tagalongs.
them.
Tagalongs and thin
Oh
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, tagalongs are the peanut butter ones. Samoas are gross.
Samoas are delicious. Bite your tongue, sir.
They're all good.
Mrs. Valhalla likes Thin Mints.
My adult daughter loves the Thin Mints too.
But tagalongs are, I will eat an entire box of tagalongs. You stick those in front of me and they're gone.
I'm excited for RA's build too. This is really cool.
I was excited before I started. I'm not.
Now I know why you're keeping it a secret. That's really cool. I love it.
CW has a good question. So, Scott, what pets did you have growing up?
Oh, pets. We had a mutt for a while. I'm pretty sure my neighbor killed it, but
oh Jesus!
Well, things happen.
I don't know where
fights start, fights end.
It was a little tiny dog that was I've never seen a breed like it before. But imagine
Aw.
a tiny dog that's not like a purse size, just like a dog that just looked like it never grew. It was like that, and it was like sort of imagine like a long hair, like a golden retriever, but sort of lighter colored and curly, and really yappy, and doesn't know how to learn any tricks. That was him. We called it Buddy. And no, growing up we had rabbits, but I thought they were pets. I didn't realize we were raising them for food at the time. So we would be like, "Where's Fluffy?" And like, "Come for dinner."
In the pot.
Yeah. So
Nice.
that was fun.
We just
got a
got
couple
new
rabbits out
baby
there.
chicks, and they're unsexed, so some of them might be roosters. And I don't want a bunch of roosters, so I told my wife, I was like, "Well, whatever roosters we get, that's going to be dinner one night." They're absolutely refusing to eat the chickens, but I said, that's part of living on a farm. You got to eat the animals.
That took entirely too long to figure out how that piece just connected, but we got there, y'all. That
Nice.
was embarrassing.
Of course you did.
You
You're never
have your new. You have your new.
It was a oversight on my part. We got there.
Okay.
Two posts were sticking out before they should have been, so they were in the way of connecting things.
Oh, I hate when they. All right. How long should people be together before they get married?
Ooh.
Well, I think that's right. Sometimes it works, right? Sometimes it clicks, and you find somebody, and it's like this is who I've been looking for. This is my other half. It feels like I've known you longer than we've known each other. But also sometimes that's like the definition of like a stalker. Like we should.
It's a fine line there, right?
I hesitate. My wife and I, we'll keep it private. My wife and I probably had one of the shorter engagements. But,
And how long have you been married?
Oh shit!
Since 2000, so 25 years.
That's a boy.
Love it.
Congratulations.
My wife and I
That's
dated
beautiful.
fairly shortly when I proposed. I feel like if you know, like if you're casually dating and you only see them once in a while, you might not have enough information. But if you're together quite a bit, if it's something that's going to work or not. Fairly soon, within 6 months, I would say, if you guys are spending a lot of time together, you're going to know if this is going the distance or not. More than 20 minutes. Yeah.
I knew almost immediately when I met Mrs. Valhalla.
You did?
Like within the first week, I was.
Borderlining more on the stocky part.
It might,
No.
but I stand by what I said.
Right?
No, that's
You
awesome.
were right.
I was. We've been married since
was.
2017. We've been together since I think 2013.
What?
Cool.
Yeah, we've been together almost a decade or over a decade. Oh, we've been married almost a decade.
But she's only 22.
I'm not really good at math, but I'm sensing a problem here.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I should
Tennessee,
laugh about that. Yeah.
Well, she
You're good.
she is slightly younger than me. I'll give you that, but not that drastic.
It is, but it's not like weird. Also, she also looks younger than she is too. So it's like,
Yeah, she still gets
Yeah.
carded for alcohol.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Valhalla
they thought
looks a
she was
lot
my
older
daughter,
than
so
he-
obviously
than
she
he
looks
is.
12. Just saying.
It was funny. Is
dare
you
you.
look a lot older than you are, and she looks a lot younger than she is. You guys walk around together.
That
it's
is
fun.
not kind.
So outside of Legos and YouTube, what's everyone's hobbies? What do you do on a day off?
I do woodworking and I sail. I have a sailboat, a couple of them, and then I have a wood shop. And so both of those are explored on another channel of mine that I keep separate from this one. But those are my two big things.
I mostly do the farm stuff,
Nice,
right? I
Percy.
mean, that kind of takes up most of my time now. I got 20 goats at the moment. I've got 2 donkeys, 3 pigs, a pigeon coop, bunch of chickens, bunch of ducks, a couple rabbits, bunch of cats and dogs, turtle, snake. I got a lot of. I spend most of my. That's my hobby. I feed things. That's what my hobby is.
I work so I can buy the food, and then I feed things.
Exactly.
What do you do?
What's the end goal with? Hang on. What's the end goal with the goats? Is it like goat milk, goat cheese, goat soap, or is it just?
Yes. So if I'm being totally honest, there was I was going through some rough stuff, and there was a couple of years there where I really didn't get out of the house. Like I just sat on the living room floor for literally 4 years or something crazy.
Yeah.
And we got goats so that I would, see sunlight and stuff. And the goal when we moved down here was always to kind of do the farmsteading thing, right? It was always to kind of produce some of our own food and try to get by like that. And that's always been the end goal. We want to make our own cheeses and milks and soaps and all the things.
That's awesome.
A weird hippie lifestyle of his.
I'm okay with it.
Right?
I like the idea of it. When it comes to actually, building the chicken coop and all that, I'm not so good. I have 4 posts cemented in my ground out in my yard that were supposed to be a chicken coop, and they've been there for years.
Nice.
So when we got chickens, I was like, well, I've already got 4 posts supporting a tree house, so we're just going to put the coop right under there. It worked out perfect.
Martha's asking, do you breed the goats, Valhalla?
I do. Right now I have 6 babies on the property, and
If you go back,
Dave sent me.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you go back, you got some goat cam videos.
Yeah, Dave sent me a camera, and I set it up out in the barn for a few weeks when they were real young, and it's not quality video ship out here, y'all, but there's several hours of baby goats jumping around and stuff on my channel.
By the way, I found a new camera that might do better for you. It's like $100.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send it to you.
What cameras are you using? I'd like to start a side channel that's just a 24-hour live stream. Are you doing like Real Link stuff or?
Well, I sent him it's Zomodo is the brand name, and it's security cameras that I actually use. Yeah, there it is, Zomodo.
I've got one of them.
And so they're really
problem
good. The
with
problem is that there's no external antenna for the Wi-Fi signal. But I sent Valhalla the one that also did audio, so you could talk to it and it also picks up audio. If you're not worried about the audio, like most of the ones around my house don't have audio when they're outside, and it has an external antenna that you could screw on. You can actually screw an extension on or bigger antenna. But when you want the audio components, it makes it there's no external antenna. Is the problem. That is awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's so cool.
So amazing.
And it's
Valhalla's gonna be lying in bed tonight playing with that.
I'm obsessed with that.
It's got
look at that. It's got the months.
The months there, and then it's got the moon phases up here.
That's cool.
I'm only bummed that I didn't get that for you.
It's super cool set. I'm pretty sure my in-laws got it for me.
I think so.
Sorry.
That's great.
Here I am building a flat piece with the simplest pieces of Legos known to man. Fully functioning solar system.
That is amazing.
CW says, any advice for someone looking for a job?
A job on YouTube? Like working on YouTube?
They're not. She wasn't.
My advice for anybody looking for a job would be try to find something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Try to figure out what you like and then figure out how to get paid with it. That's what I would try to do.
I'd also say try to network. I mean, somebody probably needs something that you're able to do. Mm-hmm. And it's easier to get hired by somebody than to try to fight the stack of resumes that are going to flood into some corporate listing.
That's the biggest thing. Start hanging out with somebody that is doing something in the field that you want to be doing. It's number one. So
I also, in addition to Lego and crime stuff. I do a little bit of painting on my channel. Right?
Oh,
I
nice.
painted
Is that oil?
No, it's acrylic. It's
Acrylic.
acrylic. I'm not that good. It's it's
you
just
are.
fun. Little hour-long paint sessions with my girl Diva. But I bring that up to bring up this painting that I've never finished,
What?
which looks a lot like your Lego of my logo.
I probably might never finish as well.
Valhalla, I love that. The goats. I'm still obsessed with the heart. I still think you should sell it or auction it, something. I mean,
I'm like
either
the
way you're
worst.
selling it, but
I'm the worst YouTuber ever.
you're not the worst YouTuber. You're the worst grifter.
I'm pretty bad at it.
Yeah,
I suck
that's
at
okay. I'm
merch.
good enough for both of us.
I can't.
I don't have any merch. I don't have any.
Merch. I have a merch store, but I don't post it anywhere. Nobody knows about it, so that's good as I am.
So you have a
Dave,
website
Tom's
that nobody
here.
goes to.
Dave.
Yeah.
Hi, my Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Missed
How you
buddy.
doing, man?
Well,
So should I open up another set?
I don't have another set.
I do. I've got
Yeah, David.
actually I think Dave sent me this one, I think. This one sent us.
Oh, cute.
Oh yeah, I sent you that back.
Yeah.
I saw that for sale at Sam's Club today. I didn't know they sold those.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a lot of Legos. Y'all, check this out.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh, how cute.
I can't fit them all in my treehouse.
You
I
should
had to
have a
start taking them out.
24-hour Lego cam, David and Valhalla.
What, just staring at the static Lego?
I mean, not
And then, of course,
static,
there's
but yeah, I don't know. Why not? Could be soothing for some people.
I did a 10-hour stream of me building Lego.
Oh, what?
My kids
There
have
you go.
completed the technique.
Nice.
Oh, it's
Fully
beautiful.
functioning garbage
Yay, kids.
tipping back.
That's
How does it-
cool.
I don't know how.
That's awesome.
Tips here.
Your
Love.
kids did better than you.
Well, they're
Kids are better
faster.
than adults.
How do you make it go up? Oh, I just broke it. Sorry.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Just keep
Don't tell the
twisting.
kids.
Up and dump.
What's what did I do?
Okay.
You just took Valhalla out. There you go.
Ooh, I took
What
the
did I do to
combat
you?
vet out. Hells yes, I feel badass now.
Well, we can have you back, Scott, if you want.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to freeze it right here. So let me show you.
Oh my gosh. it's
That's so cool.
So you can sort of see the resemblance if I put it up like
I
this.
get all
Yeah,
the
well,
way.
here.
Hold it closer to the screen. There you go. This is mine. This is what I made earlier, right?
What am I doing here? Why is this not working? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Nope.
There we go. There we go. That took forever.
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love
That's
it.
amazing.
So it's,
That's cool.
That's as close as I am right here. So I've got. I don't know what you're going to ask me next time because I've told you all my stories.
Oh, we got plenty more
Oh, I
questions for you.
doubt
I need to
we
hammer
asked-
you a little bit harder on some of the cases you cover.
Oh man, that'd be good.
So then I am all for a part 2 if that's what you like to do.
I'm down. I'm down.
I'm always good for a part
Outstanding.
2.
We
Outstanding.
love part 2.
I just
We
don't
won't
know where I'm
keep
gonna
everybody
put this in
too
the
late.
meantime.
Oh, hi, Cupcake.
Ooh,
This has been fun.
I would recommend a Ziploc bag for the pieces that you have open, if you have any open.
My fingers have been peeling back from my fingernails.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's
God.
going to start bleeding. I can't feel from here up.
Oh, no.
It's just. What do you use on your hands for? Oh my goodness, ice. I think I need ice.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
We were going to say that. David goes and gets
Oh.
manicures and gets the paraffin wax treatment.
Yeah, he does.
No, pedicures, not manicures.
Oh, so you just
Huge
do
difference. Huge difference.
halfway? You got to do both.
I get the wax. I get the paraffin wax on my
You
feet.
know you get the wax. Lefty, thank you for the $5 super chat. Part 2.
Thank you, Lefty.
What's LFG mean? I don't know some of the.
Let's effing go.
Oh, okay.
There you
Let's go.
Looking for group is what it was, right?
Looking for group. Yeah.
That's
Well, I'm glad you
so
had
what do you-
fun, Scott.
Yeah.
I did.
We
This
had
is
a blast. I
We're
did.
assuming you had fun. I don't know if you actually had fun. Okay.
I really did.
Part torture, part fun.
I want to almost do the math. I want to count how many pieces I put down and then see what my score was, because it definitely
Yeah,
looked
right.
like 12.8
3 hours.
a minute.
Thank you, Pons.
You fell behind. You fell behind.
You know
I
he
think it was in the
was.
single digits.
Yeah, Torn is doing those micro blocks. Those things are so much smaller than the regular Legos, even the smallest Legos.
Oh, the
and he's
micro
been doing
blocks.
those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's been
Hi,
building with
Torin.
those
We
for
love
months.
Torin. Everyone subscribe to Torin.
Torrent, by the way, has the longest 2 Lego streams that we've done. I think his
Both of them are
part
like
1
5
and 2
hours.
were it was like 11 hours total between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think 2 more hours and I could be done on this one, because I've got
Oh,
a big
for
section
sure.
of white down
Yeah.
here that
For
should go
sure,
pretty
yeah.
fast, and a lot of black that'll go pretty fast.
We'll have
For
to see,
sure.
because I don't know if next Saturday is available. We'll coordinate. We'll get in for part 2 here.
Well, I'll probably
We
need more
have
than a
a-
week for my fingers to heal.
Yeah, we have on the 22nd we have another stream with
With Connor, right?
with Connor.
Yep,
Yeah.
Vice Baby.
Yeah,
Yep.
he popped in our chat. I'm so excited to watch that.
Yeah, he's a
So,
good,
and
he's
then
a good kid. I like him.
yeah, but then definitely we'll get you back whenever
You've,
whenever your fingers heal and schedule coordinate.
You've piqued my curiosity. I think I can get back into Legos now.
Outstanding.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot
You
of fun.
wouldn't feel bad if I started doing this on my channel too, right?
Go for it.
No.
Oh,
Absolutely go for it.
So I think what I'll do is I'll start sending people like the 10 block sets with just like the motorcycle and the character, and we'll build that together during an interview and then call it quits.
You know, I have been sending some people sets. If you're like, hey, let's come on and here's a set for you, be so that you don't buy like the 5,000 set piece. You know, you're like, no, here's a 500 set piece.
We're not
you.
sure
like
yet.
our guy last time. I sent him a set, but he didn't even get past the first bag. So I feel sorry for Sean. But
Yeah.
that's right. He had a good time. He enjoyed himself, so that's good. And I got to follow up with him and see if he ever finishes Lego.
did he finish the second car or just that first one? You talking about Sean?
Sean.
Yeah, he did cars,
Yeah,
right?
Sean Munger. No, he did Leonardo da Vinci's Flying Machine.
The Flying Machine. That's what it was.
Not potentially criminal. Sean Munger from last time.
The last one we did.
Our professor.
Yes, our professor.
Love him. I'm
Yeah,
obsessed
he was
with him. I was really sick after the stream because I was still that stupid flu, but I was wanting to talk to you guys after because I know you were going to tease me about how much I must have loved that guest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much your cup of tea.
Yeah, I was like, where did he come? I was so excited. It was great.
So
I'm the
all right.
resident liberal here, Scott. So that's why they make fun of me.
We usually gang up on her, but we
100%.
had a left coast liberal on 2 weeks ago, and so Wendy was all about it.
I was so happy.
You were in heaven.
I was in heaven, but I was so sick, so I had to.
Yeah, everyone should go out and buy Lego, and then when you buy the Lego, let Lego know that we would be happy to be sponsored by them.
Tag
Or
them.
affiliated in some way.
Who do they sponsor right now? Like, do they have like just like the toy review
They don't-
people or anything?
They don't
I don't
sponsor
think anybody.
I don't think they sponsor
They don't
anyone.
sponsor anyone.
I've
Nope.
looked. I'm trying.
They're pretty Lego centric.
Yeah, I mean, there's channels that all they do is Lego, and they have thousands of videos up about Lego and build styles and techniques, and nobody sponsors them. The only sponsored videos, Lego videos that I've seen on YouTube are actual employees of Lego that do little things like that, but they're employees of Lego. So
Or like their claymation videos or whatever.
I've had
Yeah.
one legitimate offer for like a collaboration or like a sponsorship.
Not from Lego.
No, it was from Timu. That was
So what? That's cool.
That might be a cool one, actually. I don't know.
not gonna do it. Not gonna
No.
do it.
No, Dave, I'm still single. Bless your heart.
Is that,
When's
did
gonna-
you finish it fast?
I think people thought that Vegas Rick and I really did get engaged at Dollywood last year, so it was a little confusing. We were just pretending.
You just got your grandbaby Lego. I guess I have a step grandbaby. My wife's daughter had a child.
Did the baby come yet?
Oh yeah. The baby was born in October, and for Christmas, of course, he got Lego.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
What?
He got his first Duplo set.
October babies are the best babies.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to send you guys over to Potentially Criminal, by the way.
Ooh, I
oh no,
forgot.
is he streaming? Wait, what did I set up?
Just a second.
No, no, no.
Let's.
Yeah, Potentially Criminal. Yeah, that's what I set up. Sean's
Just a second.
making
That's
some
how I roll,
models.
Dave.
It's
That's
good. You
how I
guys will
roll.
go from Legos to models.
Sweet.
Yeah, we take pictures of them when we're traveling. I take pictures of them. We see them.
So
You know what? I am going to send you guys to. I'm going to send you to MG.
Okay. So if you guys want to go to Sean Potentially Criminal, jump on my stream. If you want to go to MG, jump on Valhalla's. And we'll see you guys back here in 2 weeks with Connor.
So happy to see you.
For sure.
Yeah.
But,
Wendy MLS Val, thanks so much for having me on. This has been a blast.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel bad because I've just loved building
Oh,
Legos
no,
and
don't feel
ignoring you
bad.
the entire time.
No.
But this
No.
awoken
This
the
is
kid
exactly
in
what-
me again, and it's just I love it. So
Glad you had fun. Glad you joined us. Thank you very much. And we'll be back for round 2.
Sure
I
will.
think the exit video will play. Cool. See you guys.
Stick around for a minute to say goodbye, and then chat. Appreciate, love you, and we will see you again very soon.
So this is a little slime, which he's so cute.
I'm
I
so
love
happy
him
you know
so
the
much.
name.
That's it.
Done.
Yay!
I actually done it. This isn't it. Okay.
I'm so hyped and focused on this thing.
It's
here.
hard. It's hard to concentrate.
And the thing is, when you're being bullied, you do feel as a child, why are the adults in the world letting me down? Why are they letting this happen? When I started fighting back, changed my life forever.
I'm actually enjoying a little bit of wine while we do this because it felt inappropriate to not have libations.
Look at this. It's kind of, I don't know what this was from.
I had a great freaking time. I chose a Lego set that was like, don't do the flowers, guys. Don't do the flowers.
Obviously, I'm the problem because I keep making the same bad decisions.
I did berate them for a long time about coming on Lego. So when David asked, I had to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No big deal.
Yeah, fuck, how do I pitch my channel? I cover a lot of the current drama and stuff that's going on, but predominantly I'm somebody who's kicked around the internet for quite a long time.
I guess technically it's round 2, though, right? Oh no, we got it. Okay, never mind.
We're round one.
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the top of my table is black here, and I just unloaded all these black Legos onto it, so it's
outstanding.
Just made it very difficult for
except
yourself.
for this one piece is yeah.
What do tofu and a lady toy have in common?
What?
They're both meat substitutes.
So I do bonsai. I collect bonsai trees, and these trees aren't it. they're wrong. These trees they have bad form.
But then in high school, I decided to do all kinds of weird stuff to my hair. I actually dyed my hair jet black at one point, and I have white eyebrows and white eyelashes and arm hair. So
I got the part of the base done, and I'm working on what I think is the owl now. See, that's how you get invited back. You just do it really slow.
That looks really cool.
That's awesome.
It's so random, but it functions. That's awesome.
It's so cool.
But it's not the size of the tower. It's how well you use it.
We're gonna be here till 2 in the morning.
Outstanding.
It's so past my bedtime right now.
Having the problem with
This one here.
Just tell me what I need to do.
You're telling me that
Zero
you have no
numbers. There's no numbers.
I'm not sure how you guys.
No numbers.
Well, hey,
You got
if Flash can have a half-hour intro, so can we, by God.